out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuning in Apartment 5B podcast, hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me in effect, as always. I got my brother Veg out of BK. What's going on, fam?
So the Mets decided to give Soto a Bobby Bonilla deal. Stupid as shit ever. I'm so glad we didn't do that. I wanted him, but I didn't want him that bad. So
how much he got, B?
What was it? Was the contract is 15 years?
Yeah, it's like 15 years.
Yeah, and it's something close to 100, something like that. But basically, like I know, you're probably gonna get a good 5 out of him, maybe, if barring injury.
Yeah,
and then the rest of that joint, he's just gonna be on salary.
Nah, you're right. I can't call that, bro. Baseball ain't my thing, man. I don't even understand a 15-year deal. Like, do niggas really stay somewhere for 15 years?
Bobby Bonilla gets $1 million every year since what, the 90s, Tone?
Yeah. Crazy.
That's crazy.
Bobby Bonilla crazy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Every year, you get a check for $1 million.
Hey, he trends every year. Once a year, he trends.
Yeah. Crazy, bro. We went to the wrong lineup, bro. Tone from Into the Dome. What's going on, bro?
Man, everything good, fellas.
All right. Well, y'all know me. Let's jump right into it. It's the end of the year show. I love these shows. Namely because I get to post these and I get to see all the people on Twitter who was like, yo, that's this greatest album of all time, and then it don't even make their top 5 list. You know what I mean? So we gonna be chopping it up. What is our top 5 dopest hip-hop and R&B? For Vague, he's doing jazz too. Albums of the year with some slept-on joints, because I feel like, this year had a lot of dope albums, but it's a lot of things that are slept on. So we got slept on albums. We're looking at who's the dopest MC, producer, all those things. What was the vibe of this year? And more importantly, how many mics do you give this year? I hear a lot of people saying that this is one of the greatest years ever for hip-hop. I think that's probably coming from people who are under 18 years old. But, I'm always open to hear what other people guys say. So we're going to set it off. I'll do this. My top 5 album. Let's just start with number 5. For me, I'm going with We All We Got by the Dog Pound. You know what I mean? Incredible album to me. 100% West Coast. You know what I mean? And I loved it. It's for everybody out there who be like, Kill, Apartment 5B, y'all East Coast. All y'all do is call East Coast. You don't fuck with the West Coast. This album was incredible to me. And in Veg, I want to say you're the one who told me about it, because I wasn't even checking for it. You know what I mean? But then Veg had posted something like, yo, the album's dope.
It is,
bro.
Dope.
I haven't stopped listening to it, bro. Like, I forgot which joint, the one with Snoop, like where he's on the radio. That was my wake up ringer for probably the past 3 or 4 months. You know what I mean? So love the album. Daz and Corrupt still sound hungry. Seeing them on a Drink Champs was dope, because I didn't even know that they was beefing like that, amongst each other and everything like that. So very dope album. That is my number 5. Tone, what is your number 5 album of 2024?
Oh man, it's tough, man. I'm gonna go with that Tyler the Creator album, man.
Okay.
Tyler, man, what's funny is my wife kind of put me on to it. Like, I like Tyler, I liked him earlier on or whatever, but I haven't really rocked with him in a long time. Not on purpose. He just didn't come across the radar like that. But this joint, how do you pronounce that joint, man?
Bro, don't give me a line.
Chromophobia? Yeah, something like that. Look, man, like, it's very creative, and a lot of people sleep on his overall skills as an artist, like his writing, his production. I mean, the dude is talented, man. Yeah, he's left field somewhere a lot of times, and he can lose you, but he's a good artist, man. And that album for me was like from track 1 to the end, man. I thought it flowed well. I like the vibe of the album. I saw him perform on some festival he was at this year. I saw him performing some of the joints, man, and they really resonated well on stage, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is also a sign of a good album to a degree as well, man. So I thought he did a dope job, man. So I'm gonna say that's number 5 for me.
That's dope, man. It's funny. I gotta tap into it. It's been so much music. I haven't even had a chance.
It's slick, man. I like it, man.
But I fuck with Tyler. Nate put me on to him with the "Call Me If You Get Lost" album.
Oh, yeah, it's good album.
And I love that joint. We went to the show. Great show. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to go to a show and enjoy it, especially if I don't really know your music like that. But Tyler killed it, man. And just kind of tapping in with him ever since Nate put me on, it's been like, yo, this dude is dope. So I'm looking forward to the album. I just haven't had the time to really dig into it, but I know the joint's gonna be crazy. Vague, what about you? What's number 5 for you?
Okay, so I do remember my list, but not in order.
Oh, it's all good. Whatever you got.
So that makes it kind of crazy. But I'll start with the list I made. I got Bad Bad Not Good. The album's called Mid Spiral. Bad Bad Not Good is a band mostly linked to jazz, but they do a lot of soul stuff. They produce a team and all of that. And sometimes they lean into the electronic joint, but this was a series of EPs they dropped where everything was soulful. All the music they created was soulful. They even produced for this woman who I need to check out her album. I think her name is like Ruby Rose or something, where she sings and they're doing that soulful production. But this joint Mid Spiral was dope because at first they were dropping EPs and I was like, damn, this EP dope. Like it's just a mood album, you know what I'm saying? Or a vibe, like the kids would say. But then they kind of put them all together into a full album. And when I tell you it's like perfect for chilling, thinking, driving, whatever it may be. It's just a very dope album. The music just sounds great. It's high quality.
What's the name again, Vague?
The name of the album?
Yeah, I want to make sure I write this down so I can tap into it.
It's called Mid Spiral.
Okay.
About Bad Bad Not Good. Hip hop heads know them from working with Ghostface at one point. So yeah, they're really dope. Like they do this all the time, and most of the time they don't miss. Like I don't necessarily miss. Like I like electronic music, but it has to be something that has rhythm. It can't just be niggas throwing change up against the wall and that's the beat. Like
right.
I can't do it, but this is a dope album that's more so in the R&B category than the jazz category.
All right, no doubt. I got to tap into that joint. I'm going to come back with my number 5 for R&B, but I want to run down for the people watching some of the joints that came out this year because a lot of stuff came out this year. I mean, you got Nicholas Craven and Boldy James. You had Odyssey, I Sketches Volume 1, Benny the Butcher, Everybody Can't Go, Master Ace and Marco Polo, Richmond Hill, Blue and Royal Blue, Schoolboy Q, Black Lips, Ransom and Harry Fraud, Rock Marciano, J. Cole, Might Delete Later, Gang Green, Conway, Shot Face Killer, Ghostface, Set the Tone, Rhapsody, Please Don't Cry, Ben Staples, The Dog Pound, The Beat Miners, Boldy James and Conductor, Action Bronson, Blue and Evidence, Common and Pete Rock, Free and Jake One, Rakim, God Network, Killer Mike, Fonte, Benny the Butcher, Summertime Butch, Larry June, what is this? Doing It For Me, 38 Special, Mother and Gun, Diamond D, The Dying Piece 3, LL for the Force, To Live and J. Rawls, Blue and Exile, Benny and 38 Stabbed and Shot, Halloween Havoc with Lloyd Banks, West Side Gun. I think he dropped 2 albums, Freddie Gibbs, and Ice Cube, Kendrick, and Snoop. For people watching too, my year, for me at least, goes from December of 2023 to November 2024. It's hard for me to put stuff in that dropped in December because it really hasn't been a rotation like that. So that's just how my list goes. So I'm not going to be naming some joints that just came out because that would tap on to next year. But just wanted to throw that out there. I guess number 5 for my R&B, Veg, I know you hated this album. Bando Stone in the New World, Childish Gambino. You know what I mean? It's a weirdo album. It's a weirdo album.
Oh, yeah.
Weirdo album. I like weirdo shit from time to time. But I like the album. I don't even know what Childish Gambino is. I don't know if he's a rapper. I don't know if he's a singer. So I just throw him in R&B because I wouldn't put him in hip hop. But that's my number 5. Tone, did you have any R&B joints this year?
I'm gonna tell you the truth, not really, man. Because this probably, and I hate to say this as a music head, this probably one of the few years as dope as hip hop was this year. And I know R&B was pretty solid. I really wasn't tapped into nobody this year like that. You know, before the show, without name a few, man. But I don't have a list because I just wasn't tapped in. I was stuck in listening to Sade all year, man, and Anita Baker and damn New Edition, something like that, man. Marvin Gaye. So I really wasn't tapped in this year like I usually am every year when we do this episode.
Yeah, it's funny, bro, because I know for me, Nas said this years ago, maybe 15, 16 years ago, and it was like, yo, if it's dope enough, it'll make its way to me. You know what I mean? Enough people will tell me about it. Somebody will, you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, like a lot didn't really make its way to me this year. Like I only got 4. I don't even have 5. You know
I will say this though. The way Dr. Dre did that Marsha and Ambrosius album, man, as far as like, even though there's a lot of samples on that and stuff like that, I'm just talking about the engineering, man, and how clean that album is, man. I mean, it's masterfully done, you know what I'm saying, in terms of someone putting the album together, man. So I will say that, man, riding in the car to that album, man, I mean, it's an experience, man. I feel like you in an arena, like stadium music when you turn that thing up, man. So shout out to Marsha and Dr. Dre, man. I know it was a long time coming for that joint, man. And for me, they delivered, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. But we're going to talk about that joint. Vague, did you have an R&B joint?
That was my R&B joint.
Okay, that was R&B.
I'll say my hip-hop. Because
right,
I remember them, but I'm trying to put them in order. So my number 5 would be Doechii, Alligator Bites Never Heal.
That's a mixtape, though, ain't it?
Yeah, but
we're doing mixtapes. I mean, I'm just curious.
Yeah, it is, but it's like Section 80. Like,
yeah, it's dope too.
It's like an album and shit. But
Shorty over and over again, man. I gotta just find a time to
bro. She's like,
this is a prime example of what I just said with Nas. Like I was in Chicago and some young boy who like 23 said her name. Then Naomi said her name, and somebody else now Vague you saying the name. So this
Kill, she can do everything, Kill.
This is an example of what I mean. If it's dope enough, it'll get to me. Where like you got different age groups. I got somebody from 23 to 48 talking about Shorty. So I definitely got to tap in.
Yeah, what I liked about it was like initially I saw the video on IG for Catfish. Yeah. And I was like, damn, who's this? Because you know her presence kind of stood out. And then I saw she was with TDE. So I'm like, oh, okay. And the more you listen to her music, it was like she kind of feels that Kendrick vibe, but she's a female. She's dope. She's incredibly creative, right? From storytelling to doing something hardcore to the singing joints. She's just really one of those artists, like we say, like a Mos Def and all of that, where you don't care what they do, just be talented on the record. And I felt like this project was dope because at first I felt like I liked the beginning or the first half, and then I kind of tapered off towards the end. But I knew what I was doing. I was kind of rushing through shit. Came back to it, and I was like, well, what the fuck was I thinking? This whole joint hot, except for maybe one record. So yeah, man, I think she had a dope year, and just the way that joint was done, the production, the quality, the variety, even for something that's not her official debut, she kind of deserved to be top 5 on my list. So,
all right, that's dope. I got to tap in. You know who's doing her production?
Nah, I don't know who did all the production. I didn't really.
I think they're kind of like low key producers. I don't think she's working with anybody real famous yet. I didn't see that. I don't believe. But she's great, man.
All right, dope. I'm looking forward to that. Number 4, I got Stabbed and Shot 2. Benny and 38 Special. Anybody knows me knows I love Benny. I love 38 Special.
Yeah.
I don't even know which one. If you ask me which one I like more, I don't even know. Because, I mean, Special and his quotables are crazy. I mean, and to me, it just fits. I mean, I loved everything about it. I mean, I've been harping on this all year. I've been harping on this the past 5 years, like beats with drums in them. Like, it just feels good to hear a knock when I'm listening to something. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the fact that I think it's only 2 drumless joints on here, everything else got drums. Like, I just love the whole album. I think Benny is special. Like, I mean, I think, you know, Benny says it's the best to go back and forth since Styles and Kiss. Like, they sound good together. You know, they rap about the same shit, but they rap about it differently. You know what I mean? So I don't feel bored listening to it. So that's it right there. I'm gonna have to skip 4 for R&B because I only got 4. So I'll wait till we come back around for that one. Tone, what about you? What's number 4 on your list for this year?
Man, that Freddie Gibbs, man, you only die once, man. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. The same thing I told somebody the other night on Twitter, man. Like, Freddie Gibbs don't miss to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this dude from the last decade or so, man, or more. I mean, some MCs know how to make an album. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, whether he's doing it with one producer or not, he just doesn't miss, man. I like the way he put his albums together. I think they always sequence nice, and I'm real big on the, you know, people that, you know, everybody know I'm real big on how albums sequenced. I've made that very clear. And I just think that good music, I love his flow, man, voice. I just think Freddie Gibbs a dope. I mean, I know he's done some crazy stuff outside of music, man, but when it comes to just getting in that studio, man, and putting some music out, man, like, bro, he doesn't have a bad album to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't make too many bad songs, man. He's just dope, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Freddie Gibbs, man. I like the album, man. It's dope to me. It's good riding music, bro.
Nah, no doubt. I feel you. Veg, what about you? What's your number 4?
Hip hop?
Yeah.
Number 4, number 4, I got Snoop and Dre, Missionary. First 4 fucking songs, I was like, yo, there's no way they can drop the ball after that. Those first couple of songs, even the intro, like, just sets it up lovely. Kill, you already know the quality. Like, as soon as I went to listen, I was like, I need to put with the premium quality, and I was just like, Snoop is rapping. It's just perfect. And the one song that I probably didn't like, that I was like was going to be a skip, it's starting to grow on me, which is the one with Sting, because it just sounds so good. Like, you hear it in a stadium. It sounds big. It sounds big. Yeah, it sounds like it was recorded in a stadium.
Yeah, it's big.
I didn't think I was going to like the Jelly Roll joint, and then when I heard it, I'm like, damn, they talking and they rapping and singing about weed. Like, how could you hate this? Like, you know what I'm saying? And you know, my expectations were Compton album, Marsha and Ambrosius album, like all the new Dre beats, as opposed to people who want Doggy Style and the Chronic from like 30 years ago, when Dre been moved on from that specific sound. So it was a no-brainer for me. No lie, I listened to that album all day after it dropped. I kept running that shit back. So I'm probably up to like 20 or so listens, if not more, at this point. So I was like, I gotta put it in my top 5. So,
Rel, what's good, babe?
What's going on? What's good, y'all?
Nah, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Babe, you already know how I feel about this shit, man. You know what I mean? And again, here's the one thing that people who know me know this. When people don't like an album, I'm like, cool, no doubt, music speaks to us all different, whatever. This is an album that I really honestly want to have a conversation about with people who don't like it, because I'm really intrigued. Like, I'm not trying to change nobody's mind. Like, please don't get it fucked up. I could care. Y'all like, hate it, call it trash, whatever. I'm just intrigued as to why. Because to me, and I get it, mad people were like, yo, Kill, you love it like that, I'm gonna check it out. I'm like, just relax, because it's really about expectations. I went into this album with 0 expectations. I didn't know what the fuck they was gonna do. I thought the first joint with Janae Aiko, I was like, this is cool. You know what I mean? That Out the Blue shit, I heard that on Drink Champs, and I was like, yo, this shit's crazy. They using Saturday Night by Schoolie D. Yeah. I love this. And then after that, I said, I don't even want to hear no more. I just want to hear things in the album form of it. And I'm just intrigued because there's a lot of people who are like, yo, the beats are trash. These beats are too clean for me. And I'm just like, yo, here's the wildest part, man. People were like, I don't like the way it's engineered. The reason why that kind of throws me is because I haven't heard somebody talk about the way an album is engineered in over 10 years. Because the majority of these Griselda albums are like made in this room right here.
Right.
Like niggas be making them in a hotel room. So I haven't, it almost makes me want to say like, damn, are niggas hating? Because how do you bring up the way an album is engineered? And I promise you, in a crack house called Twitter, 90% of people's top 5 albums are not mixed or engineered well at all.
Hell no.
How you could say you don't like the way that Dre is engineered, that this album is engineered, it's almost asinine to me. Like, hold on for a second. So, Rel, it's almost like you going to Geno's being like, I don't like the way the steak, like, no, I'm sorry, you going to like John's roast pork, like, I don't like the way the steak is made, but then you go into Geno's or Pat's, like, yo, now this is a steak. Like, yo, how? I don't even understand. I'm sorry, so what you gonna say?
No, you good. I mean, Mission Floor, man. Like, you can say you don't like Missionary. That's fine if you don't like it. You can't say the engineering is not great. If you understand music and you're a producer, bro, you know what I'm saying? And y'all all cats are artists. Get the hell out of here. It's engineered flawlessly. You can say you don't like the music.
But that's what almost made me say, like, are y'all kind of hating because
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've literally haven't heard anybody bring up how an album is engineered in literally over 10 years. Like, seriously, y'all. Like, so the fact about that, and then the other part was kind of just like, you know, when people are like, the beats are too clean, I'm like, yo, these beats, I don't know what you want. Like, I don't know if do you not like it because it has drums? Like, I don't know what you can't, because here's the thing, he's using Swahili lamb that Dilla used for Steaks and is high, but that shit Shangri-La sounds incredible. And y'all know me, I'm usually the boy like, oh, that's some boy. Well, you know me, I'll be like, oh, they use the fucking same shit Dilla use. That shit wet. Even I'm like, yo, that shit sounds, on the Negotiator, they use the same sample reflection used for Move Something.
Yeah.
But Dre just makes this shit sound bigger. So it's just like, again, I'm not trying to change nobody's mind. It's really a conversation because I really would just be intrigued. Because I honestly feel like if these beats said produced by Alchemist, niggas would not have a problem with this shit at all. So I'm like, damn, is it Dre now? Like, it used to just be me. Like, you know me and Rel, we be like, yeah, Kill, if this beat said produced by Pete Rock, niggas be loving me and Rel in Vegas album. But because they produced by Kill, it's like, oh, the album's cool. You know, I'm like, damn, Nick, that's where Dre at now? Because I guarantee you, Alchemist fucking loops up anything, and it's the greatest beat in the past 30 years. But Dre is doing this. I'm intrigued, man. I'm intrigued why people don't like about this album. Vague, did you see the thing that Complex did? It's like a 20-minute video they got.
No.
You gotta check that out. Just put in Missionary YouTube. It's all those little clips that are floating around. It's all put together like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm intrigued because Snoop is not in the booth. Like, this whole album, he's literally rhyming right next to Dre. Like, Dre is at the board and Snoop is right next to him.
This nigga a magician, because that shit sound like you said, Swahili Land. If you go listen to the original album, the original sample, it don't sound like that. That shit sound like you playing somewhere in some symphony ass tune to the T ass piano, and it's the same sample. But like you said, what I think about dudes who say that, or anybody who says that, they just don't know what they're talking about. It's the same reason, and, you know, no disrespect, but we're just gonna keep it a buck. I'm watching, you know, I watch y'all too when y'all do y'all hood journalism, but you're not a journalist. Like, you're just not. I could point out all the flaws in everything you do that journalists learn in undergrad not to do. So it's the same thing with this. Anybody hear this shit? Unless they listening on the iPhone 1 and can't hear half the shit, there's no way you can hear this shit and say, I don't like the way it's engineered. You crazy? Like,
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I know that this is gonna make my top 5 next year because Veg, I'm with you. It'll be a week tonight. I haven't stopped listening to the album. Like literally, I literally copped it off Amazon Friday night, got delivered Sunday. The CD just stays in the whip. Like I'm not even taking it out. Like it could just stay, you know. And here's the really dope part, bro. Because we do so much streaming, the actual CD sounds even better, louder, and bigger in the car than it does just coming off of my phone streaming it. You know what I mean? So if you think it sounds good streaming, dog, get the physical, and that's gonna take it to a whole nother level of what it sounds like. So again, incredible album. Snoop sounds incredible. Call me naive. I didn't know he wasn't writing his rhymes no more. Y'all know me. I don't know the T. I just listen to music. But even with him not writing his rhymes, he just sounds fucking incredible. You know what I mean? And maybe it's just for me. For me, the thing I love about Vegas and Tone, and Rel, I don't know if you do this too, you guys listen to everything. I have not heard a Snoop Dogg album since Doggy Style. I have not listened to one album. I've heard songs, I've heard singles, I've seen videos. I've not heard. So for me, Snoop is Martha Stewart's. I don't even look at Snoop as an MC. So that's one of the reasons I think I'm not mad at him having other people write his rhymes. I haven't looked at Snoop as an MC since 93, 94.
Hey, bro.
You know what I mean?
Put that next time you get a chance.
Blue carpet.
Please, the blue carpet treatment, dog.
Okay. Everybody has told me about that. Joe.
That's for real.
Okay.
Is that the one with Pharrell? Did Pharrell do that one?
No.
Which one did Pharrell?
Pharrell, that's the is that the Rhythm and Gangster? I don't know if it's the Rhythm and Gangster or not, but blue carpet is hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard.
Because dudes is like, yo, Kill, how can you like this? And like I said, for me, I haven't seen Snoop as an MC. I see Snoop as a million different things before I would say MC. He's a brand ambassador. He's a million things before I think MC. But again, I'm not mad at this album. I love it, man. I love it. So I'm with you on that. Bro, what's up, bro? Give me your number 5. Yo. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Am I supposed to do R&B too?
Yeah.
My R&B at number 4, I got Leon Thomas, Mutt. You and JR put me onto this. I saw the cover. I heard about it on JR's show a long time ago. Didn't get the chance to listen to it. Saved it a long time ago. Then I found some time to just play it in here, with the big monitor speakers, because I got one like yours, Kill. And I just turned that shit up, and I was like, I didn't know who was singing. I didn't know who mixed this. I didn't know who made the beats, but this shit was comparable to what we saying about Dr. Dre. This shit just sounds so good. You know what I'm saying? The singing is good. The variety of the records. Because usually I'm a snob when it comes to R&B, man. You got to fucking impress me. I'm easily annoyed by any love talk if the shit don't sound good. You're just a nigga complaining. But when I hit play on this shit, I was like, okay, this that grown man ass traditional R&B nigga, not trying to rap, he just singing. The beats is good, the writing is good. I was impressed. I was glad y'all said something because this shit would have went right by me this year. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Hey, quick question, guys. Did October London joint drop this year?
Yeah, it dropped. It dropped.
Okay.
And for people watching, I just haven't had a chance to hear it. So I know people
that joint is fire.
Saying like, yo, we're October Long. I just didn't get a chance to listen to it this year. But I definitely want to tap in. It's
fire.
Yeah, I could believe it. Rel, what you got for your number 5? Hip hop and R&B, if you got them.
All right, I got hip hop. I got Stabbed and Shot too. Listen, I mean, I was already a fan of both artists, but I was one of them people. Like, I mean, we were talking about this on one of the shows. Like if Benny puts something out, I'm going to listen. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just that's just what it is. And then I really like 38 Special. He got his own style. You know what I'm saying? His own flow. Like when he goes up on Sway and them and freestyle, he always go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I was looking forward to this drawing, and I before things happened, this was all I was listening to. You know what I'm saying? So this got to make my top 5. You know what I mean? I was not disappointed with it, and they always gonna come with something quality for me. So that's my number 5.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. And so many quotables, man. That's what I love about 38.
He's unique, man.
Yeah, and the way he says it, he's like, so we shot him and shot him again, like we rehearsing. I don't know who sold more birds, me and Churches. Like, I be like, yo, this nigga, I love this nigga.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Right. But I get it. There's a lot of people who don't like him. They don't like his voice. They don't like, but again, for, with somebody else's trash, somebody else's treasure, because I think Special is dope as hell.
I do too.
All right, number 3 for me. I'm going back to what Tone has. Number 4, You Only Die Once, Freddie Gibbs, co-signing everything that Tone said. Gibbs doesn't miss. I mean, like Tone said, you working with Madlib. I mean, that's incredible. You work with Alchemist and Currency. That's incredible. You work with producers we don't know. That's incredible. Like,
don't matter.
It don't matter. So Separately was like my number 1 album 2 years ago when that dropped. Like, that's a 5 mic classic to me. I still listen to So Separately. And Only Die Once just follows in that footsteps. Like I said, Gibbs is the one MC that I want to rhyme along with. Like, I will listen to songs over and over again just so that when I'm listening, I'm able to rap along with him. Like, that shit was fun to me growing up. And that's the shit I love. And the shit that he got when he uses the anniversary sample.
Yeah.
But that got taken off. So Sadiq or somebody must have got at him, because now if you go to stream it, it ain't there no more. You know what I mean? So there's another reason why folks should download music and not just stream it, because now niggas like, that song ain't there. Dog, to take It's Your Anniversary. And again, normally I hate this shit. Veg, you've known me for 30 years. If you just loop up some regular shit that know everybody, I not 99% of the times will hate that shit. Talking about, it's your anniversary, like we celebrating the day you got killed, nigga. Like,
Nuts, man.
You can't. Like, and then he got the joint over Cupid with 112.
Yeah.
Like, and I love it. Like, this
makes it work.
That's it right there. He makes it work. And to me, that's a testament between what we're always talking about, beats and bars, and people who make dope albums. You know what I mean? Because another MC would have got on that Cupid beat and sounded whack. Just, it wouldn't have done nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm already going into this like, this nigga done lose Cupid. Get the fuck out of here. And then I come out liking it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And one of the things I love that Gibbs does, and a lot of MCs don't do this, is he will start a chorus one way, but then the next time he does it, he'll switch up a word, or he'll do something different. Yeah. And it's almost like what I'll try to do as a producer. I'm like, you think the drums are going to go this way, but I'll shift them that way real quick, just to kind of fuck you up. And it's like, I love how Gibbs does that. Tone, I don't care about what he does in his personal life. I don't care. Y'all know I don't care nothing about the T. I just care about the bars. To me, Freddie Gibbs can do no wrong. My number 3 for R&B is following right up with Vague, with Mud. Naomi put me on a Leon Thomas. Like, this is what I love about having a dope kid who just loves music as much as I do and loves a different kind of music than I do. Because she put me on a Leon Thomas. And Vague, if you like this album, his last album is dope as hell too.
I heard that one.
Yeah, the album before Mud is dope as hell too. Yeah. But I mean, this joint Mud, it's everything Vegas said. Like the songs, again, I want to learn the words. Like, that's a testament to how dope music is. If I want to sing along with you, and people like my family knows I don't know words, I will fuck up a song. Like, I'll be listening to Don't Be Cool, like, oh shit, that's what Bobby said. Niggas like, yo, this shit came out 40 years ago. You ain't know that. So for me to want to learn the words says a lot. Leon Thomas definitely got some shit, man. So y'all need to tap into him. Yeah. Tone, what's your number 3, man?
Number 3 is Missionary, man. For all the reasons you said, it was funny when I saw one of how you be in your car and you took a picture. Yeah. And you have the actual CD in your ride. That's just throwback, because a lot of cats don't listen to CDs anymore. So you kind of keep that essence going, And I know it sounds good in the ride, but that's the thing. It wasn't I streamed it in the car, but even though it wasn't probably as loud and clear as yours, but I was just like, man, this is like what Kanye said back in the day, stadium status. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds big. it sounds like a victory lap for Snoop and Dre. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't expect Doggy Style 2 because he's in his 50s. I don't need to hear Murder's Case Part 3. I don't care about none of that.
But Tone, hold tight for 1 second.
Huh?
I'm sorry, finish what you're saying. I'm gonna write it down.
It's like it felt like the evolution of an artist. You know what I'm saying? Even the evolution of Dr. Dre, he's trying different little things and stuff throughout the album, production wise, and like I said, it's so loud and clear. I like the way Snoop felt. He felt engaged. It wasn't lazy. Snoop wasn't lazy on the album. Like, you know, cats being in the game so long, and you know, even though expectations are high, they just kind of give you something and be like, yeah, it's okay. You just Snoop was into the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, every song, I felt like him and Dre had a real good energy, man, and connection. And yeah, man, I thought it came out really dope, man. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like the album that Snoop and Dre supposed to have in 2024. It don't sound like, it sounds monstrous. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to, man.
Now, it's funny, Tone. The question I was going to ask everybody, what was Doggy Style 2 supposed to sound like? Like, that's like one of the questions I want to ask people who was like, well, you know, it's not what I was expecting. Because normally with Dre is, for people who really follow and think of his production style, he's really usually piano heavy. And Dre, for the most part, for years, stayed away from samples. You know what I mean? Like, when we're looking at like probably like post 2001, he really stayed away from samples. So the crazy part is he's back to sampling probably on almost every song. You know what I mean? So I don't know what Doggy Style 2 was supposed to sound like. I mean, maybe you don't want to hear Jhené Aiko on it. Maybe that's what you mean by you, or you don't on Out the Blue, whoever that shorty is who's doing the hook. Maybe that's what people mean. But I'm intrigued to know that beat with Method Man. Are you fucking kidding me? This shit is crazy. Like, yo, like that. So that's the part that like it. I don't understand what people thought Doggy Style 2 was supposed to sound like. I mean, there's actually a song on there where the beat switches, and it sounds like something that would have been on Doggy Style. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. I mean, that shit hard knocks, yo. When that beat switches and the way Snoop is flowing over that,
he killed that.
I mean, again, I'm totally lost.
And that last track, that Negotiator joint hard.
But again, I'm always telling people, how do you end the album? Ooh. And he ends the album, and Questlove was talking about this when they were doing Voodoo. He was like, you know, when you hear Africa, it's almost like, damn, the album's over. Like, that's what I've always shot for. Whenever I do an album, I want that last song. I don't want you to be like, oh, good, it's finally over. Like, no, nigga, I want you to be like, damn, it's over. Like, we got to start negotiate. I honestly don't know. I mean, niggas was mad at me because I didn't know who Jelly Roll was. And I'm like, nigga, is he a fucking dope ass MC? Fuck, why would I know? Niggas like, nah, you country singer. Why the fuck would I know who he is then?
Right.
Y'all acting like I said, who's this Rakim guy y'all keep talking about? Like, nigga, I said, I don't know who Jelly Roll was. But me not knowing who he was, I wasn't listening to the song like, yo, who the fuck is? I felt like he went fine with it. You know what I mean? So, again, I don't know, man. I don't know. Even the Sting song, I felt like it went good in the album. And that's the reason why I didn't want to listen to it as a single, because I felt like anything with Sting was going to be something that is in the flow of the album. You know what I mean? And for people not understanding what when Vague and Tony and all of us are saying when we talk about the flow of an album, it's almost like the flow of a game. You ever see somebody just come in and start throwing up bricks? It's like, yo, nigga, the game was flowing beautifully the way it was. And now here you come fucking up the game. Like, that's what we mean about the flow of the album. Like, the flow, it goes with it. You know what I mean? Does that need to be the first single? No. You know, Everything Is Fair on Low End Theory shouldn't have been the fucking first single, but it sounds good within the album. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So that's what we mean by flow of the album. Like, Everything Is Fair is not going to make one of my best to try mixtapes, but it doesn't stop Low End Theory from being a 5-mic album and one of the greatest albums of all time. So just for people who may be wondering, like, y'all always talking about the flow of an album, like, that's what we mean. Everything doesn't have to be this monstrous, great Check the Rhyme single for it to still be part of the album and for the album to still sound good. So yeah, bro, I don't know, man. I'm intrigued, man. I'm intrigued. We may need to do a show where I could just grab some people who don't like it and just really. I'm intrigued because Tone in that post, probably about 5 or 6 people replied like, "Nah, trash, skip, no."
I saw it.
Yeah, one nigga was like, "I can get 5 kids from down the street to make a better album than this." And it's like, here we go. Now you just grabbing 5 niggas from down the street, like really, like come on, y'all, man. So again, I'm just intrigued. You gonna say, Vic?
I was gonna say one thing, and I saw this before the album dropped, was Snoop and Dre talking about the sound and the choices as far as features, right? Saying like, yo, we not them dudes from back then. We iconic status, so we need to be with other icons, and we need to collaborate with the stand. You know, collaborate with an up and coming, but a popular artist like Jelly Roll. Like, we need to do these things. We need to sound on their level, but it's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And to me, they accomplished that. You know. So.
And I think the other thing too, man, is again, we don't want artists to grow. Like, It still kills me when after what Nas just did, niggas still being like, "Nah, I don't fuck with Hit Boy." Like, how swear? Like these niggas literally just dropped 6 albums. And here's the thing: they dropped 6 albums. If somebody said 3 of those 6 were classics, I'm not mad at you. I'm not even mad. Like, you give them 5 mics, but they're still like, "Well, he need to get back with Premier." And people like, yo, him and Hit Boy did some magical shit. Like, yo, what? I mean, you listen to Magic, all of them, like, I don't understand it, but I think it's just like, I don't think niggas know what they want.
Hey, kid,
like, what's up?
If people thought that Lost Professor produced Magic 1, they say it was the best shit since it was written.
Yeah. Because it's basically, but that's what I mean by people. And I've always told the story of my homeboy who loves Ninth Wonder. And I came over and I played him my beats and he's losing his fucking mind. That's why Ninth is the greatest. Oh my God, he's the greatest producer ever. I'm like, yeah, nigga, those my beats. It's like, oh, yeah, they good. They dope. And I'm like, no, I'm the GOAT, right? Because when you thought they was Ninth's beats,
right,
the beats what is. So again, people get caught up in the mindset of just who's doing it. That's why, like I said, right now, Alchemist can't lose. Alchemist can't lose. If I say something bad about Alchemist, niggas be like, "Oh, your beats are trash compared to Al." If this album said produced by Alchemist, this album would be 5 mics. Niggas would be like, "Oh, Alchemist is it. He's the GOAT of all time. He brought Snoop back from the dead." Same exact beats, same exact engineering, same exact everything. So again, it's just weird for me. Like, I'm thinking, like, damn, niggas hating on Dre. Like, how the fuck, where that come from? But you're 100% right. If Magic. I remember when the joint on Magic that has Premier scratching, people thought Premier did it when Magic dropped. And niggas was like, yeah, I told you, Kill Premier still got it. I'm like, no. Yeah, it was like, no, that's just Hit Boy. That's Premier scratching, but Premier didn't do it. But when people heard it was like, yeah, nigga, see, you always talking shit about Premier. Like, Premier don't still got it. Look what he did. I'm like, no, nigga. Same thing with Locomotive. When Large Professor was talking, niggas thought Large Professor did the beat. It was like, yeah, see, Large Professor still got like, no, nigga,
just talking on it.
Like, dog, but it's like people can't get past like their childhood. You know what I mean? It's like, and I get it. I mean, I don't want a Mongoose bike no more. I'm 50. I'm over it. I didn't get it. I could buy one if I want, but I don't want a Mongoose bike. I wanted one in 1983, not 2024. If the music is whack, I totally get it. But for anybody to listen to all 6 of those Nas albums and be mad with Hit Boy, to me that's just hate. Like, I don't know anything else to say, but it's hate. You know,
it's definitely hate, man. Because I'm just picking a song. We all know there's a bunch of beats, but when I heard that shit Rare off of Magic,
that
was a single. I was like, this nigga Hit Boy has unlimited beats in his stash. Like, there's nothing that he can't make at this point because he done gave all the shit to Nas. We done seen every look.
4016 building? That's right. Like, come on, man. But again,
dedication, speechless, stunned, brunch on Sunday, man.
Speechless was.
Come on, man. You serious?
And again, it's just people who are like, we just want Nas with this person. And like you were saying, Veg, in the there's also this Complex article that they have, and I didn't know that Snoop and Sting got cool, and like Sting is like Snoop's mentor now. You know what I mean? So it's like I think they got cool on The Voice. Well, you know, Snoop be every fucking way. So you know what I mean? He was on The Voice, thing got in his ear. So it's one of those things I'll never forget when Gangstar came out and took 889 out to Dave and Buster's, and I was like in Google's ear about something about royalty.
You said
and I was like,
right?
Yeah, the Jodeci joint. And I was like, yo, fuck you, like, man, y'all, like, I ain't really say like y'all selling out, but he was like, nigga, I fuck with KC and JoJo. Them niggas get high, we get high, we get drunk, like we bitches, like, yo, and it made sense that everything doesn't have to be a money grab. Like, you know what I mean? So I know there's somebody like, oh, why you get with Sting? Not even know, like, this is my mentor now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, you still think I'm a Crip in Long Beach, right? Like, you still think I'm hanging out with these niggas. Like, so again, I don't get it. It's an incredible album. But again, I'm not trying to change nobody's mind. I'm just intrigued as to know what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. My homeboy and his wife to Angelo's route. And they got chicken cheesesteaks. They was like, we wasn't really feeling them. I'm like, bro, but I sent you to get cheesesteaks. Like, I can't co-sign a chicken cheesesteaks. Like, I even told him, like, bro, I'll give you your money back. Like, I don't want y'all to feel like y'all got jerked, but it really is like it's the cheesesteak, not the chicken cheesesteak. I don't know what they chicken cheesesteaks taste like. You know what I mean? So again, I'm just intrigued. But like when I asked what didn't they like, and they was like, oh, the chicken. I was like, oh, that's why. So I'm not trying to beef with nobody. Like, oh, you gotta love Angelo's, but I'm just intrigued as to why you wouldn't like one of my top 5 cheesesteak spots. Veg, what's number 3 for you, man?
Number 3 on the hip hop side, Dog Pound. We All We Got. Yo, when I heard that Smoke Up shit, I was like, oh, if the rest of the album is like this, like with Snoop on the hook, like he don't have to be on every song, but he's throughout the album. Then when the album came out, I had been checking here and there for like Corrupt and Daz projects, because sometimes they're kind of dope, but you know, nothing crazy. But man, when I pressed play on that joint, that shit was like taking me back to 90s, early 90s West Coast hip hop, but again, updated. So it's sound fresh. And at the time it was out, you know, it was starting to get warm and shit. And, you know, you start putting on the fresh clothes to go with it. And I was just like, yo, I'm just in the West Coast bag right now, because I listened to that album just as much as I listen to Snoop and Dre now. Like, it was the only thing I was listening to for months. Like, everything else was kind of like, okay, I gotta check this out because it came out. I gotta check this out. But when it was like what I want to go to, it was that Dog Pound shit. Because I wasn't going nowhere. I live in the suburbs, nigga. I'm going to Starbucks. But I'm riding to the motherfucking Dog Pound, okay? Mm-hmm. All summer. It took me a minute to like listen to something else on a regular basis. But they did their thing, man. That was their first album on this new iteration of Death Row. And, you know, kudos to Snoop, man. He been in the pocket with these, making sure these albums, you know, are done in a way to have impact. And I felt like a lot of people, it was just dope to see a lot of people saying they liked the Dog Pound album in 2024. So I love it.
And later Rage got busy on that track too.
That was my next wish. Like, okay, so when is she going to get her proper due? Like,
bro, woo, her verse was stupid.
Right. That was my only thing with Missionary. I would love to bring a deal to the table. I would love to trade Eminem and 50 for the Dog Pound and Rage. If I would like to trade their verses for Dog Pound and Rage verse. That was my only thing that I would have loved to seen on that album, because the one with Meth, when the dude, whoever's doing the chorus, for a second, I thought that was Corrupt. And I was like, oh shit, Corrupt on this joint? Like, if they would have got Daz and Corrupt on that Meth joint, oh man, that Skyscrapers, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. What's your R&B joint, babe?
So my R&B is actually a jazz album this time. So I think her name is pronounced Nubia. Garcia. This is her second album. The name of the album is Odyssey. First album was incredible. Like I'm a jazz guy, but I'm not like a hardcore everything has to be this or that. And the same thing we were talking about, right? There are jazz albums that drop where it's just niggas playing instruments. Then there's other albums that drop where you're like, damn, this thing sounds beautiful. Like, it just sounds good. Even if you don't know how to describe what's happening, it makes you interested in the way she crafted it, especially coming off of a highly successful debut. It was just perfect, man. I loved everything about it. And for a minute, when I needed to take a break from like hip hop, or I needed to type some emails or whatever, I could just throw that on and let it rock in the background. It's a fantastic album. So if you're a person who likes jazz or anything I'm saying about this record interests you, I think you should check it out. If you like jazz, because it's rhythm based. It's not really, straight ahead as far as like a bunch of solos and long 20-minute tracks and shit like that. It's kind of in the middle. So you get some of that, but you get an album that just sounds good and, obviously influenced by some of the things around like R&B and soul in some ways, but mostly jazz though.
This the joint right here, right? This joint.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely got to tap in.
All I heard a few songs on it, but it sounded good for what I heard. I didn't hear the whole album, but I like what I heard.
Bro, how do you keep your ear to the streets for jazz? Like, I barely can keep up with R&B. So, like, how do you, where do you keep your ear to the streets to even get new jazz?
You know what I do? Because I do this for everything. I used to only do it for hip hop, but I do it for R&B too. Like if you have Apple Music, or even if you have Spotify, I think Apple Music is easier. You can just go look at the new releases. And if you know the people, then like, oh, I need like Terrace Martin. Oh, his shit is usually dope. Check for that. But for the most part, it has a lot to do with like working in jazz radio for so long that I've acquired a ear for it and a taste for it, and there's certain people I like, so I'll check in the jazz circles to see what people are talking about. Like now is a perfect time to go and just type best jazz albums of 2024, look at what the Times has, look at what other sites have, so you can kind of figure out like what's the best. But yeah, man, this was one that I'd be surprised if it's not on a lot of people's list.
Yeah, I need to diversify my Twitter followers. I need some jazz. I need jazz Twitter. Like I need to get with that. Fuck hip hop Twitter. I need jazz Twitter people around me. Rel, what you got for number 3, bro?
I got a Tyler the Creator. His last one, I really, 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 really like. This one is not as good, but it's a good album. With this one, it was a couple of joints that were like I really wasn't feeling, just a few, but like, yo, the dude is just mad talented, bro. Like the production and storytelling and making like good music, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this was actually my third, cause I didn't do my fourth. My fourth was Freddie Gibbs album, cause I came on late or whatever. And to speak on that, Freddie Gibbs, like he just rap on anything, bro. Like I don't get it. Like
sound good on anything, man.
Sound good on anything, bro. And like it's crazy cause like he be doing so much corny shit and I don't even care, bro. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I just like the music, man. Like it's some people, like you were saying, man, some people just know how to make good music, and he just know how to make good albums, bro. He got like 3 off the top of my head I could think of that are like impeccable, you know what I'm saying? And with all different sounds, like it's just crazy, and he floats on everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he deserve any accolades he get for the albums that he put out. So that was my 4th and my 3rd. Yo,
the crazy thing about Gibbs, man, and I'm mad him and Benny was beefing, man, because I love that joint that they did.
Song they got together.
Yeah, the joint where you want to be in this Toyota or that Maybach. I was like, yo, these dudes sound perfect together. Now these motherfuckers out here beefing, man. Like, damn.
No.
Like those.
Imagine the album those two.
Bruh. Man, like crazy, man. And I mean, the first time I heard Gibbs was on Currency's Covert Coup. You know what I mean? And the way that nigga come in with, what do you say, report live from the Devil's Palace for breakfast, had 2 blunts and 2 titties and a turkey bacon sandwich. And I'm just like, yo, this nigga just said he had 2 fucking blunts, 2 tits and a bacon sandwich. Then he said something like, I keep running it back like I'm the quarterback for the Eagles, Randall Donovan or Michael, before I picked up this. He just I was like, yo, who is this? Like, it was like, when I heard Nas on Live at the Barbecue, and it's like, and now the like Covert Coup had to be 2012. So to see him 12 years later, and he's who he is just like incredible to see. But yeah, bro, like you said, Gibbs can do no wrong, man. Gibbs can do no wrong. And like you said, he does so much nut ass shit that he's so nice. I don't even give a fuck. Who cares? Like,
yeah,
who cares?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Really
like,
I don't know that nigga personally. I don't know him personally, so I don't give a.
Hey,
you see, here's the part. Maybe if he wasn't as good, maybe it would be like, that is the nigga that did da 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 da. You know what I mean? Like, we may not care, but it's like, oh yeah, but that nigga. But if you nice enough, nigga, who cares? Like, that's the best way to shut people up.
And you know
that's what more people need to do. If you want to, you go around and do some fuckboy shit all you want. Just be dope enough that we forget about whatever the hell you did. You know what I mean? That's your Men in Black moment right there. Make dope music, drop 50 points a game. Niggas will forget about all nut ass shit you've done. You know what I mean? What are you gonna say, Tom?
Oh no, man! It's like, since we giving flowers real quick, I went on and reposted again my Freddie Gibbs flowers post just to show him some love, so everybody see that.
We can't see it. We can't see it. It's like breaking up because the background.
It might be my background. I'm not sure you can see it. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, just bring it closer.
Yeah.
Is it closer?
Oh shit, that made it worse. Oh.
All right,
Gibbs.
Yeah, you got it.
I just wanted to post that again, just necessarily showing them some love, man. Because again, man, it's very rare when somebody can just pretty much rap over anything, and I be like, man, shit sound kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even say that about some of the so-called GOAT MCs that we always show love to. They got to be on certain production sometimes. But Gibbs just one of those rare cases where you just put a beat on, just do something, and he'll just rhyme to it. He be like, that shit sound fire. You know what I'm saying?
You're 100% right. Normally, I'm like, you see what I just did with the alligator bites, shorty. I'm like, well, who produces it? With Gibbs, I don't even give a fuck. I don't know who produced Soul separately. I don't know who produced this new joint. It don't even matter who produces them.
I don't know.
I could care less. All right, number 2, I got the vinyl around here somewhere. Haven't even sparked it yet. The Auditorium, Common and Pete Rock. Got the CD around here somewhere, but can't find it. That's how much I love this album. I brought the CD and the vinyl. Just an incredible album. To me, when niggas hit me like, yo, Com working with Pete, and I'm like, the only way I care about this is if they in the same city, if they working together, if they cooking this together. Then niggas start sending me pictures of them in the studio. I was like, all right, now I'm getting excited. Now. And then Amir told me, like, nah, Com live in New York now. I'm like, oh, he live in New York? Like, oh, okay, like this joint could be crazy. And this is exactly, to me, this exceeded my expectation. So just an incredible album. And if somebody else has it, we'll talk about it later. And then on the R&B front, Tone, you brought it up, Marsha, Ambrosius. I haven't even sparked this one yet. And just like I said, if I love it, I'm copping the vinyl. I'm copping the CD too. Just an incredible album, man, right here, man. Like, again, just the way it sounds. I know it's funny because this dropped, and I swear to God, everybody loved it. Everybody was like, yo, this is the best R&B album since Mary's My Life. And then I swear to God, 4 days later, it was gone. And no one has talked about this album since. I know people didn't like it. It was like, oh, it's too much sampling. Oh, she ain't really writing nothing. She doing that's Mary. She doing this. She doing that. Bro, I don't care what she was doing. I love this album. You know what I mean? I love it. Probably my favorite joint on here is probably Wet, where she's going over the joint to In the Rain and she throws in some Minnie Riperton. And I said this when it dropped. This reminded me of like a mixtape from the early 90s. You know, like this reminded me of like a classic Ron G mixtape. And if you was around back then, a classic Ron G mixtape was just as dope as a fucking hip hop album. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Like it was right there with it. Like, you know, certain Ron G or some certain doo-wop mixtapes were better than some of the hip hop albums that was coming out. So to me, that's what this just made me feel like it was like an old school mixtape, because it just felt like like a DJ just on the 1 and 2 cutting it up, and her just got the mic and she just going over whatever the DJ throw on, she just singing to. So I love this album. Tone, what's your number 2 joint, fam?
My number 2, man, is GNX by Kendrick Lamar, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, when I was speaking to Crook the other week, we talked about how this year was the year of the West Coast, man. Ain't no getting around it. You know what I'm saying? The West Coast held hip hop down in 2024 with Kendrick doing what he did with Drake and leading up to the Super Bowl nod.
Tone, shout out on that Crooked Eye interview too. 2 things I gotta salute you for: the Crooked Eye interview, and this motherfucker right here done got Chuck D with doing a sketch. So that right there, bro, is a huge salute. Like, yo, that is beyond dope. And for people who don't know what I'm talking about, Chuck does sketches. So it's a nice plug for his book right here, Living Loud, Chuck D. He does sketches of everything, and he did a sketch of Tone. So that's, salute to you for that, man, because that's huge.
Appreciate it, man. That was just real quick. That was real love right there. I mean, a lot of my Twitter thing when my phone was going crazy, and I'm like, what's going on Twitter? You know what I'm saying? Like, little notifications, and I hit it, and I saw that joint, and I was just kind of like, wow. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I definitely hit him and told him I appreciate it, man. But that was nuts, man. So yeah, appreciate that, bro. And as far as Crooked, real quick, man, a real one, man. So that conversation about the West Coast, man, and me having GNX number 2, but you look at what Kendrick did this year, and look and the battle, the Super Bowl, you know, just what he did with his album, and then, you know, the Dog Pound, Dre and Snoop, Ice Cube, all the underground West Coast cats that put it down all year. Some of the ones on stage with Kendrick at the pop-out joint, you know what I'm saying? Tyler from the West Coast. I mean, Vince Staples. I mean, the West Coast dominated 2024, no question. But what Kendrick did, man, when I first put that whacked out murals in, man, and the energy of that song, man, it just remind me of that spirit of Pac at the beginning of Machiavelli. I can just tell he wasn't BSing around. It's like, you know, he just wasn't playing. Then you look at what he did with the Man of the Garden, man. He channeled that Nas one mic, and then the third verse, he said, "I'm ready to crash out on y'all niggas. Y'all hating. I see it." You know what I'm saying? So then that reincarnated is like, you know what? I'm gonna give you that Pac energy, man, on that made niggas beat. Like, you know, it's easy for somebody to sample a famous Pac song like "Dear Mama" or "Gotta Get Around," but this cat, they went back and did made niggas, dog, with the Outlaws. Casual Pac fans don't even know about that song in that video when Pac got that damn camera running around, you know what I'm saying, in that damn warehouse, you know what I'm saying, to getting it in, man. And then that Gloria joint, man, like, even that squabble up shit, man, people on the West Coast, they really rock. All my people over there, man, they listen to that joint all the time, man. Kendrick did something special with this album, bro. It's right.
Yo, bro. And again, the only reason why I'm not saying this is because for people watching, my list ends in November. You know what I mean? Because December is enough time. But trust me, this GNX and this dog and this Snoop joint is gonna be. I don't see them not being 1 and 2 other next year. Something crazy gonna have to come out. And the funniest thing about this album is, I heard it the first time I heard "Whacked Out Murals." Me and Nate was in the car, and we was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" What the? No, not in a good way, Tone. We were like, "Yo, what the fuck is this? Who did this?" We did not like it at all. But here's the thing: when the Pimp a Butterfly came out, me and Eb was like, "Yo, this shit is whack." And then 24 hours later, we was like, "Yo, nigga, this shit is kind of crazy." So I never like do that with Kendrick. I'm like, let me get it some. Bro, this album went from me, and then I heard it again. And I was like, I was like, you know what? It ain't for me. It's all good. He's doing this for the West Coast people. It ain't for me. Salute to Kendrick. Nigga, I can't stop listening to this album now. Like, it went from "what the fuck is this" to "it ain't for me" to "I love the album and I can't wait to go to the show with Naomi next June." Like, I can't fucking wait. Like, bro, this album, and again, bro, I get it. I get why people would be like, yo, it's very West Coast, but dog, there's not really nothing I really don't like on here, man. Like, and I know Pete, I think Pete had said something, Pete Rock had said something on Twitter about the joint where he like something to the extent of like, yo, we just still looping up like R&B joints about on that Heart Part 6, looping up the SWV Use Your Heart joint. Yeah. And niggas was like, yeah, he just did that. And I'm like, but yo, I was like, here in Tone, I feel like this how we gotta do it, niggas on Twitter. I was like, yo, Good Kid, Mad City's a classic, right? Yeah, shit classic. Didn't that nigga just loop up Anytime, Any Place by Janet Jackson?
Absolutely.
So, fuck is the difference looping up Anytime, Any Place by Janet Jackson and looping up SWV, Use Your Heart? Like, this is what I mean, like, but I gotta get y'all to say the shit first. It's like Game of Taboo. Like, I can't say the word. I gotta get you to say the word. Mm-hmm. Like, but nobody had a problem with Good Kid, Mad City, but he did the same shit. Like, you know what I mean? So, again.
And you know what people understand? I think they were just paying homage like the same way they did with that Luther Vandross joint. Like Kendrick does that. See, true artists, they pay homage sometimes. He could have got another beat. He didn't have to do that for the Heart Part 6, but he wanted to. The SWV brought people back home and took you back to the 90s. It made people say, well, where people who didn't know about it, when did they research? Did you understand that the Neptunes did that beat for SWV back in the 90s? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of history that these casuals don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
But I get it. I keep saying doggy style. The Snoop, I don't get. The Kendrick, I can get. I know niggas who are like, I don't fuck with this. And I'm like, I get it. It's a very West Coast sounding album. So if somebody says, yo, I don't really fuck with this Kendrick like that, totally get it. You know, no harm, no foul. I just think with the Snoop one, I'm a little more intrigued because it's not. Here's the crazy part about it. Snoop in the Marsha joint, a lot of the samples is East Coast shit.
Yeah. Especially
you know what I mean? Like, yo, the Marsha shit, I'm like, yo, New York State of Mind, fucking rappers act like they don't know, One Love. I'm like, yo, all these samples is East Coast shit.
Oh, shit, definitely East Coast.
Right. So when I'm listening to The Missionary, I'm like, okay, A Reflection Eternal, Move Something, Daylight, Stakes is High, PE, you know, I Got a Letter from the Government, that joint, Black Steel. All the samples from the Snoop joint is East Coast shit. So like I said, I get if niggas don't fuck with the joint, cause Squabble Up, I'm sure niggas in Compton right now are losing their mind. I want to learn how to do some Compton dances because that shit is so crazy to me. You know what I mean? So I can understand why people will be like, nah, that shit ain't for me. Cause I felt that way at first too. But to me, it's still good music. So just a testament that I'm not on no East Coast bias, West Coast shit, whatever. I think the album is very dope. I think it's dope. And like I said, I can't wait to see the tour. Yeah. Vague, what you got for your number 2, John?
Number 2 for hip hop, Kendrick Lamar, GNX, man.
And where you from, Vague? Where you from, Vague?
From Brooklyn.
All right, there you go.
But nah, I mean, I'm a big Kendrick fan to begin with. And what I like about Kendrick, on the first listen, this nigga just making noises and saying regular shit. That's what it sounds like. Noises and regular shit. And the more you listen, you catch things. You're like, wait a minute.
Yep.
You talking about this. You start connecting the dots. It's like The Wire.
Right.
You like when we was watching The Wire live, we was like, yo, this second season trash. But then you watch all 5 seasons, you like, yo, they really broke down the whole fucking city.
Yep.
Like, yo, the docs was probably the most important part because it fed everything else. That's how Kendrick is. And for the heart, like anybody that knows that series, the beat is always something like that. It's never no new intricate. It's almost like a freestyle to warm up the album. It's just that because of the last one, it was so hot, which sampled Marvin Gaye, right? But we forgot about that. They had to put it on the album because people loved it so much. So they just went ahead and did it anyway. For me, I probably got one skip, but I ain't gonna lie. It played the other day and I wasn't annoyed. And I'm like, this.
Let me see if we together here. Cause I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck did this shit? Is it the joint GNX?
Yes.
The 11, right before Gloria.
Yeah.
That beat came on. I was like, yo, what the fuck? what?
Right.
But then when they spitting and the beat keeps dropping, I was like, oh, okay, hold on. Like, okay, I'm with you
Right.
on that. You know what I
The
mean?
more you listen to it, the more you like, okay, I see what y'all doing, you know. But I remember, like, I was already listening to it a lot when it came out. You know, shout out to Ak. He did a whole breakdown of the album and reaction which was dope because we were catching the themes behind what Kendrick was doing, right? Like channeling Pac and Big and Nas. But then also, like you said, you know, paying homage to Luther and SWV. And Ak, I give him props because I didn't hear this at first, but Ak was like, yo, that whacked out Murals. You Houdini friends in that shit just slowed down.
Yeah, it is.
Find out that's what it was.
Yeah.
But initially, you know, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just like, oh, what'd he say about Lil Wayne? Like, okay.
Right.
Just a very dope album. I love West Coast hip hop. I don't like everything from the new joint, but I think Kendrick is doing, even though like you look at it and be like, yo, he put on for the West. I think in a lot of ways, he's getting a lot of other listeners used to that sound so that the other dudes could eat. Because if you like when Kendrick did it on Not Like Us and all that, well, DJ Quick put out a dope ass compilation that got a bunch of them dudes on it.
Yep, he did.
And I think Tone, I think you told me to check that shit out. And when I went and listened, I was like, okay, yeah, it's West Coast year this year.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Clearly, so.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, what about you? What's your number 2, bro?
Wait, R&B, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, Vay. I keep forgetting you got R&B. My bad.
R&B, we already talked about it. Marsha Ambrosius.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I go. I didn't get a chance to listen to it right away. I think, Kill, you said something. Then I saw people online. Now, I'm not a fan of hers because I don't like her writing. I think she could sing her ass off. But it's not just her. I'm not with like, don't be talking about fights and relationships and singing that shit. I don't want to hear that shit, okay? Like, I don't hear none of the ghetto ratchetness. But that shit with Dre doing what he was doing with the beats, to the beats we've heard for years, and it's like, how the fuck does make this shit sound fresh like that? It was just an incredible project, and I was surprised, man, because there's a lot of people who I know listen to R&B, and her in particular didn't even know about it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what the hell was behind that, but as you can see, you know, it's my number 2, and it's Skill's number 2, so dope album.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that Dre didn't do more promoting of it. Like,
yeah, it wasn't promoted well at all.
You see what they're doing with Doggy Style. I gotta stop saying fucking Doggy Style. You know, Missionary. Even the little short film that they got. You know, you see that they're on the touring circuit. You're seeing the behind the. Like, I would have loved to see the behind the scenes of Marsha making this album. You know what I mean? You know, and just things like that. So yeah, I wish they definitely would have promoted that more. Rel, what you got for number 2, bro?
My number 2 is Everybody Can Go. Hey man, I like what I like, man. Listen,
bro,
I like what I like, man. And Benny, it's what I like, man. That's like one of my favorites currently. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's good. Another good album, man. When he put an album out, I'm there. I mean, Jermaine's Graduation is like, if you don't like that, man, something wrong. Like, I played that. I couldn't even pass that.
That was my wake up ringer for a while, man. Like, I want my day when I wake up, I want to hear Jermaine's Graduation play.
Yeah, I couldn't get past it at first. Like I just kept playing it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I'm just going off of like you know, stuff that I listened to the most throughout the year, really liked throughout the year, and that was up there. I will say, disclaimer, I haven't really got to listen to Missionary like that because of what I had going on, you know, personally or whatever. But so I get around to it. When I did play it though, and I heard you say earlier, somebody said they didn't like the way it was
mixed.
Yeah, that's crazy because it was like I remember. All right, perfect example. I remember like hearing the Chronic and then hearing another album, and you could hear like the difference and how that like the Chronic just sounds so clear and loud, and that's how this sounds to me. So I'm confused about the engineering part. Like that's just line like crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Niggas just be saying stuff. I gotta be just saying stuff to get a reaction, because that's like asinine, bro. Because from what I heard, it was loud and clear. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't really got to get into it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's not on my top 5. I haven't really got to get into it. But yeah, Benny, Everybody Can't Go is my number 2 album of the year.
And it's funny, bro, because I love that album too. But I was like, it's so many dope albums. I was like, I either gotta go with this or the one with 38 Special. You know what I mean? So it was like an either or, and I just, Specials versus kind of just put it over the edge. But to me, Jermaine's Graduation, big, even a joint. And it's funny because this is what I mean about not hearing songs. Because when I heard the Big Dog song with Lil Wayne as a single, I really wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? But then when I hear it in the album, in the flow of the album, I like it. You know what I mean? So I just think people don't pick the right singles no more. I think niggas just pick that song Wayne is on, drop that joint first. But that's necessarily maybe not the best single for it. And Trust More Valuable Than Love. I love that joint. How the beat keeps switching every time. And then the last story is about him and everything like that. So very, very dope album. I don't want to think niggas.
You know what? If he would have put that joint higher, the joint that's on Summertime Butch on this album, it'll put it over the edge. Like, cause that song is crazy. If he'd have put that on Everybody Can't Go, it'd have made it even better.
Yeah, true indeed. Number 1 for me, I'm going with the Stimulus Package Part 2 with Freeway and Jake One, man. I love this album. First time I heard it, I wasn't in love with it because I loved the first joint. But I kept listening to it. Yo, I love this.
Bro, I haven't heard it.
Oh man, it's dope. Yo, bro, it's a perfect album to me, man. It's like, if you like Jake One, I mean, the beats are crazy. If you like Free, I think you'll love this album.
I like Free.
I would say it like that. If you like Free, I think you would love this album.
Man, it's Jake totally slipped past me, man. I'm gonna listen to that tomorrow.
Jake One.
That's another nigga that know how to make albums, bro. That's another person know how to make albums. Free, Free know how to make a good album.
He got a joint called Philly with fucking Petey Crack, which is crazy. He got Black Thought on here. Dope features. Again, all the beats are banging. The joint ringing. The joint he got with Jada Kisses on here is dope. Jake One with the beats, and it's just like, yo, at the end of the day, it's a close. It was either this or the Common joint, but I definitely listen to this a little bit more. And my number 1 R&B joint, haven't even cracked it yet, the Wild Lord, man. NX Worries, man. These two niggas, Anderson Pocket Knowledge, bro, this whole 86 Centra move on. I mean, the joint that went on with October London was crazy.
That's joint crazy.
I love this album. I mean, again, me and Vegas and Dre, the only 3 niggas who like Compton. People always complaining about, he ain't put us on to
I like
next MP or whatever like that. Nigga gave us Anderson .Paak. I ain't know who the fuck Anderson .Paak was before Compton. After Compton, this nigga has been off to the races. Niggas like part of 8 groups. Like, this nigga got a group with Nas. Nigga got a group with Bruno Mars. Got a group over here. Then dropped the solo stuff. Like, Anderson .Paak to me is just one of the most.
So they got a video for that song?
Yeah, they got a dope video for that.
It's
like,
they're in a club or something. Yeah.
Yep. So that's my number 1. Tone, what's your number 1 for the year, bro?
Hey man, my number 1. Even though I ain't like this tweet this cat said about the sampling and stuff. My number 1 is Common and Pete Rock, man. The Auditorium, man. It exceeded my expectations, man. If you know me, you know I'm a huge Common fan. I'm talking about Common from Can I Borrow a Dollar Common. I'm from Charm Along Common. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So Take It Easy Common. So I go way back like that, man. So I absolutely think Common is one of the dopest MCs all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I heard that, actually, all of the joints that him and Pete was releasing leading up to the album, I thought all of them was dope. But when that Dreaming came out and that little video, I was like, man, they knocking a home run with this one, man. And then, again, you start the album with Dreaming, and you end it with my favorite song of this year, Now and Then. You know what I'm saying? What Common did on Now and Then. Common is known for, when you think about his albums, like reminded me of Self at the end of One Day It All Makes Sense, or It's Your World at the end of B, or you know, The Misunderstood at the end of Final Forever. That's his thing, man. So when he did that Now and Then on this Volume 1, bro, I was like, yeah, it made you want more. It made me want Volume 2 immediately once I heard that last song. And it was the way his rhymes was throughout the album was just insane, very introspective. But that Now and Then, man, was kind of spiritual for me, man. Like, I really love what they did. Pete Rock was, you know, Pete is one of the guys from the 90s still fresh, man. I gotta give him props with that, man. He actually might be the one from the 90s in terms of right now still making the dopest beats from his graduating class. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, to me it's Pete easy. It's easy because Pete, the thing that I love about this album is that it brought Pete back into the limelight, but niggas, Pete ain't go nowhere. Pete got Metropolitan with Sky Zoo. He got beats. He got albums with Benny and Smoke Dizzy. He's got albums with Flea Lord. He's got albums with Smith & Wesson, with Camp Low. Like Pete has been putting in work. So I love this for him, just for him to like kind of for people to be like, oh, he's still making music. I'm like, nigga, he never stopped, like never. You know, and to me, he's the only producer, like you said, from the 90s, in my opinion, who still gives me shit to be like, oh, let me go turn on the machine.
And Common doing that rollout. And Common doing that dope rollout with on late night television and everything. Pete Rock finally, you know, like you said, in the limelight, well deserved. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, Common is a star, and Common did it the right way this time for them to get the notoriety this album deserved, man. And yeah, man, it's the one for me this year.
Yo, what's your favorite song on here, yo?
Now and Then.
All right. My joint is All Kinds of Ideas, man.
Oh, that joint's stupid.
That nigga played, because here it was, I heard Dreamin' and I heard something else, and I was like, oh, I heard Dreamin' and the Wise Up, and I was like, I'm not listening to nothing else. Then Pete had like posted the audio of All Kinds of Ideas. I was like, oh, fuck that, I got it.
Great song, man.
Yo, the way that he used to rock him, all kind of, very dope album, man. Vague, what's your number one, man?
Number one, Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium Volume 1. No skips. I don't, other albums I like on here, you know, depending on the mood, I might skip a track or two. This one I could let it rock from beginning to end. What I loved about it initially was how, and I guess Dre did this, did something similar with Marsha and Ambrosius' album, but how Pete Rock was able to take iconic samples and quotes from hip hop and make them sound fresh. You know what I'm saying? Because I can imagine a cat who's younger than us, who's into the kind of hip hop we're into, and may not know everything and hear some of these samples, be like, damn, what's that? Oh, he sampled that. Go back and listen to it. And I just felt like he did an excellent job with it. I think Common, initially, like there were a couple songs here and there, I thought his bars could have been a little bit better. But for the most part, they didn't have to be better. They just had to work with the music, and they did. And everything he did on here was dope. I even love like Pasta News song. Just rapping and sounding fresh and sounding like, damn, he next. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just made me want more from the project. My favorite song is Wise Up. When Wise Up come on, that's when all the gray hairs make sense. That's when I'm like this and shit. Like I'm on my B-boy stance. Like that shit is just hip hop. As soon as I hear it. So yeah, I love this album, and I can't wait till they drop the next one. So
I think one of the things I appreciated most about this album was Common wanting to make this album, because to me, the only reason why this album is getting the love that it is getting is because, Tone, like you said, Common is a star in Hollywood. This is bigger than hip hop. You know what I mean? Because I swear to you, if this was Metropolitan 2, trust me, it's not nominated for no Grammy.
Nope.
Same beat, same rhyme, say everything. They're not on Jimmy Fallon. They're not on Jay Hudson in the middle of the day. You know, this is all Common using his star power in order to make this happen. If this is Metropolitan, Bilal ain't on this album twice. Jennifer Hudson ain't on this album if this is fucking a Smoke Dizza album. You know, so I love the fact that Common used his stardom to bring hip hop back to the core. You know what I mean? So I think it's dope. And they just said they're gonna drop volume 2 next year. So
Man,
this should be real dope. Well, what about? Oh, I'm sorry, babe. What's your number 1 R&B?
NX Worries, Why Lord? Like, I think this joint dropped around the time when my mother passed during the summer, so I needed some distractions. And I remember I had to trim the hedges, right? And because they were getting crazy, like fucking Afro. If you got hedges, and the shit is just wild. It's like, oh, the ghetto house. Like, so I was like, I just need something to zone out. And because you're gonna sit there. I mean, it's my mother. I'm gonna sit there and think about her because I'm sitting there cutting. I put this joint on. That shit took me right the fuck out of that zone because the stuff that Anderson .Paak is saying on here,
bruh,
singing, rapping, the music, it just made me lock into the album. And I already loved the first joint they did. Yeah. So when I heard this, I was like, oh yeah, this is one of the best of the year already because I know there's not going to be anything like this album. From the production to the writing to Anderson .Paak's cadence on certain records. He just, like, his voice would be annoying in any other setting. Right. But it's like it's perfect. It's uniquely him. It matches his personality. Yes. He just says some dope shit. Like, I'm kind of a hypocrite because sometimes he say the shit that I don't want Marsha and Ambrosia to say, or he say it. So I gotta let her live. But yeah, man, very dope album. Shit, that's why it's my number 1. I listen to it a lot. So.
Yeah. Me and Yao were talking about Pac, and as much as I love Pac, I don't know if Pac has a 5 mic album, for me at least. This may be the closest one. I may have to give this 5 mics. Like, I love this album. Like, it never leaves the tape deck for long. I said the tape deck. Nigga, I'm over it. All right, Rel, what you got for your number 1, bro?
Common and Pete Rock, man. Common and Pete Rock. Let's talk about expectations. Like, this could have easily not lived up to him. You know what I'm saying? Because it was high expectations for this joint. And, like, I don't really skip nothing, but I have a favorite part of the album. It's Fortunate, So Many People, and Wise Up. Like, that's
so many people crazy.
Yeah. And I remember texting Kill, like,
you text me about Fortunate. Like,
Fortunate. And I'm like, the sample is not even in English. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, man, this album, they did a thing on this album, man. Like, this is what you can't expect nothing better coming from, like, based on the expectations of what when we found out this was happening. This is very, you got to be pleased with what you got. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't skip no songs on this joint. Like so that says it for me. Like, I could play it. I play it straight through. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, number 1 for me.
Dope. The only song I skip on that, I've learned to like it now because they did it live with Jennifer Hudson. I hated that God song. I hated that shit. Like, when it came on, I was like, yo, what the fuck? You got Jay. I didn't know Common and her was fucking. So that's number 1. So I'm like, damn, you got Jennifer Hudson on your album and this is all you got her singing? Like, yo, she's supposed to be going to church. But I saw them perform it live on her show, and seeing it live made me like it a little bit more. But that was like the only song I wasn't messing with right there. All right, let's go into slept on albums. Now, for me, the way I did slept on albums was this was a great year for hip hop. A lot of dope hip hop dropped. And I'm talking about albums that people that may not know, but they need to know. So number 5, I'm going with Rock Marciano's Marciology. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this album. It's weird. I know it's like Rock has this weird thing. It's like people love him or they fucking hate him. There's not too many people that are like, I'm in the middle with Rock. Like, you either love him or hate him. I fuck with this album, especially he got the song called Bebe's Kids, where he's basically telling all you motherfuckers out there doing this drumless shit, you're his kids. Stop biting his shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I love that. Number 4, I'm going with my man I Am God and Klepto with Bloodstained Suede Part 2.
Yep.
Very, very dope album. Very, very dope MC. very, very dope series. Okay, so and again, this isn't not making the top 5. These are albums that y'all need to be tapped into that are just as dope as the top 5 that I've named of this year. Number 3, I'm going with Psychological Cheat Sheet Part 5. My brother Vic Spencer out of Chicago. Very dope album. He has a whole series put together with these joints. Vic Spence dropping a new album on Friday. I think it's called Being a Bigger Person Sucks. Definitely check out Vic. Yeah. Number 2, I'm going with Stop Calling Me I'm Cooking, Stove Guy. You know what I mean? This album, some people don't even know this little EP came out. I think it was out and then it got pulled down because I'm hearing he's having issues with his label. So a lot of people can't even get it anymore. If you like Stove Guy, this joint was crazy. My number 1 slept on album for 2024 is a tie between these two brothers beneath me right here, Bed-Stuy Vintage and It's Not You, It's Me. Rel and Vegas, they're on each other's albums, all that dope stuff. I usually don't do this, y'all. Like, this is not my steez because I produce these albums. But one of the things my OG told me is, Killer, if you ain't gonna big up your own shit, how can you expect anybody else to do that? You know, I've always kind of played the background. Let me be humble. Let other people talk about that. Nah, fuck that. Both of these albums are fucking incredible. They come from 2 different views, from 2 people who are older statesmen of this game. Vegas is coming from more beats and bars and he's spitting. Rel is coming from a concept album of relationships and friendships in general, romantic relationships, just everything. So 2 very dope slept on albums. That's my number 1 pick. Y'all need to tap in with that. VegasWorldInc.bandcamp.com. Rel, I can never remember your Bandcamp offhand.
Jarrell215. Jarrell215.
Bandcamp.com. Check them out. Y'all won't be disappointed. Tone, give me some of your slept on albums this year, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if I put anything in order, man, but definitely I Am God, man. You know, his joint, man. Dude's an incredible MC, man.
He's
like,
a monster.
He a monster, man. He can rap better than a whole bunch of cats that's way more famous than him. That Master Ace, man, Richmond Hill, man. You know, Master Ace is one of the guys from the 80s, man, who, when you look at his discography and what he's done, especially his resurgence in the early 2000s, man, you can make a case, man. Not too many cats from the 80s has the music he has, man, like in the totality of his career, man. Like, he passed some of his peers who got bigger names.
So, for a second, let me say this about Ace. Me and the Biz dropped when I was 15. Okay? I'm 50.
Enough said. I'm 49.
Just for people watching and think about that. Me and the Biz dropped when I was 15 years old, the summer of 10th to 11th grade. I'm now 50 years old. And Master Ace is still making music. So just let that sit there for a minute.
And when you look at it like that's crazy, because I'm 49. We the same, you know,
right?
And so I feel you, man. And I was listening to Richmond Hill recently, and I'm like, this dude came out when I was a shorty, for like a young dude. I'm almost 50 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? And he still sounds fresh, man. He still his flow, his writing. He always had a good ear for beats. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, that joint, man. Another one. The Rock Marciano, man. I like dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, he does a good job with his albums, man. And his joint was really slept on. What's funny is this ain't really slept on, man, but I did have Benny album up here because I felt like the wave came real strong and then it kind of fizzled out real fast to me, man. I'm like, damn, it was really big for a minute, and then it felt like it didn't reach some people's expectations because at one point he was like, this gonna be it's dark and hell is hot type shit with DMX. And so, you know, once it fizzled out, people forgot how good it was. I think that it's gotten too much criticism. I think
you know what, Tone? I think some of that goes back to it's almost like knowing too much. Because I think once he said I signed the Def Jam, niggas had already made up their mind that whatever comes out is not gonna be dope, and it's gonna be because you're on Def Jam. Because I feel if this shit was still on Griselda, if this shit was, you know, whatever, it wouldn't have been. Because I'm like, dog, Alchemist and Hit Boy did the album. Yeah. How How does that not be dope? So I think that's what it was for a lot of people too.
Yeah, man. And I know this the next person is a famous cat, but people ain't talking about it enough right now. Again, that J. Cole might delete later, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I really like what Cole did with that joint, man. Real quick, a few more Rhapsody joint, man. That Please Don't Cry, man. I got who else, man? That might be. Did Conway have that Silent Face Killer? Conway.
Yep.
Slant
Face Killer. Yeah.
I'm sorry. People don't talk about it. You know, people ain't really talking about. I mean, I thought it was pretty decent, man. I mean, you know, and again, some of these guys, you know, if you heard one project, you know, it kind of follows a thing. You know what I'm saying? But they dope at that thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's
that song Give. The way he rhyming on it, like his rhyme seems fucking bananas. Like
he got it in. He got it in. It was stupid. But yeah, those mine though.
All right, Greg, what you got for slept on joints?
All right, slept on. You'll see it on my podcast. I've been saying it everywhere I could say it. I just need niggas to press play. Trust me, the shit fucking fire. I listen to it now. Davies for the Love.
I haven't heard it.
It's really good. It's really good. It's really good. It's really good.
Excellent.
It's really good. Yeah. Somebody put me onto it. Yo. Yeah.
It's what's dope about it is, especially for people of our age, right? There's a lot of 90s aesthetic as far as like black love sitcoms. You know, there's some Martin skits, there's some Living Single samples and skits. There's some Love Jones stuff in there, but and it's Davies and Scram Jones, and they use a lot of production where the theme is love, but it's these familiar tracks, and Dave East sounds comfortable over it, like doing different. Like we be wanting him to do different shit because sometimes he could be so monotone. It's like this is the same album, nigga. You dropped it twice, but this is different. Because this is, I wanted to see like, oh, you gonna do a whole album like For the Love? I'm telling you, from the production isn't it blow my mind. Why you sample that, niggas? Just stay the fuck back. This shit remind me of clubs, skating rings, having a crush on a girl. Like if Ghostface made this shit, forget about it. Like niggas would be all over it. So I just think he did an excellent job with that, and it's slept on. He just released a joint too that's kind of tough. My next up slept on Currency and DJ Fresh, The Tonight Show, the sequel, and they put out a joint called Encore. It was one of those things where it felt like that week everybody was like, "Yo, this shit crazy, it's great," and shit. I don't even know if it lasted a couple of days. But this album, again, is one of those albums that just sounds so good.
Damn, I haven't heard that either.
Me neither.
Yeah, it kind of came and went. They released that joint, but then they did another one like a week or so later called Encore. But it's the same vibe. The beats are perfect for Currency. It makes what he usually says, is what he continues to do, sound fresh. No pun intended. And I think it's dope. I just think a lot of people, you know, it's like, oh, another Currency project, but this is one of his better ones. Apathy, Connecticut Casual Chapter 2. Now, this dude, I think his last album might have been 2020 or something like that. And I don't have no history with him beyond doing these best of the years and trying to make sure I check out everything. Yo, this fucking album is crazy. Like, this dude could spit. What'd you say?
I was saying Apathy. I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Yeah, like he could spit, and the beats is crazy. And I'm listening to it. You know how it is, Kill. You listening to this shit, you already know it's crazy. You already know all the hip hop heads are gonna like it. Then you pop out, and it's like, oh, nobody listening but me. Like, when this nigga making the shit you wish other MCs would make. So I was really impressed by how dope it was. Two more, Talib Kweli and Madlib, Liberation 2. The J. Rolls joint was hot also, but I really like this Liberation 2 joint. This is kind of Liberation 2 sounds like what that Black Star second album should have been, especially wise. And lyrically, Talib sounds fresh. You know, it's a lot of, you know, pro black stuff, and I don't mind that. But it's not like how he is when he's tweeting and shit, you know, when you irritated by him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But very dope album, and I think Madlib did his job with the beats. And last but not least, I think there's one nigga that I posted this on my IG that I was listening to it, and he was like, finally, he was the only one. Slum Village got an album called Fun.
What?
If you are tired of niggas shooting at you in every record, I like it too, but sometimes you need a break. This is exactly what the title says. It sounds good. It reminds you of a time not that long ago in hip hop where it's just like, I just listen to their shit because it sounds fun. You know, it sounds good.
Now, hey, who's in Slum Village now?
I don't know. It's just two niggas I ain't recognizing. I was just like, I know they've been there before, but for me, it's only
two. You don't even know who the group. I'm like, Baten died, so I think it's T3, and then Elzai came and left, and I think it was T3, and then Dilla's little brother. I don't even know who's in Slum Village.
It might be T3. I think is there because I recognize his face. I just didn't know the name. And the other cat, I think he was there on their last project.
I swear to God, Slum Village is like fucking Menudo. Like, I don't, like, you know how Menudo used to get new members and get the old members. I can't keep up with who's in Slum Village, man.
Yeah. But, you know, I was like, all right, Slum Village, Legacy, let me just press play. And I was just letting it play. And I was like, damn, what happened to hip-hop sounding like this? Like, just shit that just feels good and fun. And to me, it's a night. It breaks it up, right? Like if you going from Stabbed and Shot Part 2 to Chaos with My Ladder Part 2, and then something else, and you just need a palate cleanser, you know, and in a good way because the shit is hot. I was surprised that a lot of people just probably didn't even know Slum Village had an album out, but it's working.
All right, no doubt. Ralph, what you got for Slept On joint, bro?
All right, I got the Stove God John. Man, Baseline Hove, like that song's so tough. It almost pissed me off, bro. Like, cause I want more of that. Like that song is so fire, bro. And you know, I just need another Stove God album, man. Like, but that John, you know, it holds you over, and apparently it's not accessible anymore. I probably wouldn't have got my hands on it if it wasn't for Kill. So that John Freeway and the Jake One joint, like we was talking earlier, man. Freeway know how to make albums. Like his Rockefeller album, one of the best Rockefeller albums of all of them. You know what I'm saying?
And it doesn't get talked about more, man. And I don't know why. I mean, I get it that what they do kind of eclipses any and everything, which is beautiful because this is a song he'll be able to do his whole life. But I see people almost trying to peg Free as a one-hit wonder. And I'm like, don't do that because the nigga has an ill discography. But the average person just thinks because they heard that all over the radio, that's all he has. And it's like, nah, you're nah. Like, don't do that to Free. So, but I don't know why people don't talk about that album more.
Great album.
It's kind of strange that they don't talk about it more because you got Just Blaze damn near either at his height or like maybe going into his height, you know. So I don't know why. I don't know why.
And Kill, the other big song that was on You Got Stirred, the other big song from Freeway album.
Yeah, Flip side.
Huge.
He cracked, yeah. And that the joint he got with Nate Dogg, that joint. That's when crazy, yeah, man. So the Freeway Jake One. I got the Force, the LL joint. I got Lupe's Samurai. I'm a big Lupe fan. And I like that joint. And I got Bad Style Vintage for my
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this, man. MC of the Year. Oh man, I gotta get us to Kendrick Lamar, man. I I mean, not that I'm not the biggest fan of They Not Like Us. When I heard it, I was like, I like the one that Alchemist did better. You know what I mean? But it's why I ain't nobody's A&R, because shit, we see what Not Like Us did. But I mean, like, yo, this nigga single-handedly like defeated Drake. Like, I mean, not just defeated this nigga, because we're acting like Drake hasn't taken L's before. He has. You know what I mean? But like, defeated him, buried him, dug him back up, buried him again, dug his ass back up, buried him again. You come out with this GNX joint out of nowhere, like nobody knew that this shit was coming. So I mean, just Kendrick, man, I don't know what else this dude can do. And I think this is an amazing bounce back from the Mr. Morales joint. I'm one of the very few people who liked that album. The rest of the world didn't like it at all. So too. I think it's a very quick bounce back from that, because people, you know, from what I'm seeing, love this album. Slept on MCs. I'm going with the two brothers who are right under me, Vegas and Rel. I mean, me and Vegas, our entire discography will be up on Christmas Eve on all streaming services, and we did an interview with Ak, and just running back through all the music. Me and this man have been making music since like 2011. You know what I mean? Like, that's 14 years of like putting out very high quality music, and you know, I mean, none of it sounds the same to me, and it's kind of like I need people to pay more attention to Vague, because we have been doing this for 14 years with high quality music. So definitely tap in, and not just the stuff he's done with me, but he's done stuff with McLovin Beats and with DJ Rec One and other people. So just really need people to tap into Vague, because Vague has been putting in work for 14 years as an MC, longer than that. And then Rel kind of bouncing back from not MCing for so long to coming back into his bag, from delivering his album that I produced 70% of last year to now this It Ain't You, It's Me, which is an entirely different vibe from the first album. And we just got finished talking about MCs who only have one way to rap, or their albums all sound the same. And this is a boy who stopped rapping and picked the pen back up and then dropped back-to-back albums that are total different from each other. So just wanted to give them their love, and just being slept on MCs, and just two people who I really think y'all really need to check for. Kind of like what Vague was saying about the apathy. Like, he's giving you the music that y'all complaining about. Both these brothers are giving you the music that we complain they don't have. Where's the adult contemporary hip hop? Where's just dope beats and rhymes? And I don't think nobody got killed on either one of their albums. You know what I mean? So a couple of MCs, but nobody, you know, got shot. Vague didn't have to pull out the big gun on nobody, you know. So just something to check out. So that's it. Producer of the year, I gotta give it to Dre, man. I mean, between this Missionary and the Marsha Ambrosius, maybe it's just, you know, the fact that I thought these two albums would never come out. When I'm talking about I thought they would never come out, I mean, I thought they would never come out. Even after we got Marsha, and then Snoop was like, hey, I'm dropping this shit. I was like, yeah, nigga, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not gonna drop this shit, you know. So I gotta give it to Dre and Slept On. I'm going with Jake One, man. I don't know why Jake's name isn't brought up more. I mean, he kind of does it all. You know what I mean? The only time people it's almost like the gift and curse, kind of like with Free. You got this what they do, and they think that's all you have, not knowing you have all this other stuff. It's like the thing that Jake did to joint Rock Cocaine Flow with Daylight and MF Doom. And it's kind of just like, that's all Jake has done. But I'm like, y'all crazy. Like, Jake's discography is crazy. And then he has the Tuxedo with Maya Hawthorne. So it's like, he's not only giving you hip hop, but then he's giving you this Tuxedo too. So those are my slept on. What about you? So who's your MC of the year and producer of the year? And all that?
I'll be brief with the MC of the year. It's Kendrick Lamar. He's the MVP of 2024. I don't think it's even a conversation. Now, I know I had some people arguing with me about Future, because Future had two projects, and again, Future's large down here. He's large in Atlanta also, and when I was in Miami a couple of months ago, they was playing Future a lot. You know what I'm saying? So he had a big year. He's a big star, especially down south. You know what I'm saying? Me being in North Carolina, they rock with Future down here, but in the grand scheme of hip hop, the face of hip hop of 2024 is easily Kendrick Lamar. Producer, now, slept on MC. I'll say I Am God, because I actually think that, again, the projects and shit he is amazing. And I'm gonna say this because we're on this podcast. You guys know anytime y'all drop projects, I always share it, talk about it because we have to do that for each other also. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Real, your joint was dope. I know you know I've talked about it before. Anytime I see stuff up, I'm gonna share it. Vague being my guy with on podcasting for years. You know, I've copped his project. Whenever I see it, I'm gonna post it and talk about it. So y'all cats are slept on because again, like Kill said, Kill slept on as a producer. Because again, whenever some of these guys name these big producers, if you just hear a beat tape of Kill stuff, you'd be like, oh, that's some Dilla show. That's Alchemy. That's this person. He can do stuff with drums, without drums. Kill can do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's cause none of us are famous. We gonna always get slept on whatever we do. You know what I'm saying? So all y'all niggas are slept on. You know what I'm saying? So that's real talk. So we need to start. We're gonna share that too. As far as like the producer of the year, for me, like Hill says, Dr. Dre, Marsha and Snoop, he got stadium music all year. Can't nobody see Dr. Dre to me. That's just the way I always been when it comes to a big sound. Nobody can see, and he displayed that again this year. Slept on producer, man. I'm up in the air because I haven't heard the new Stimulus joint, but Jake One is someone that nobody talk about enough. Yeah. If you look at all the stuff he's done, he's versatile with the beats. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I might look towards saying he's one of the ones overall, even though I haven't heard the new album, he's one of the ones that I will say is slept on. And
I'll say this. For anybody wondering with Jake, this is a great place to start at. Y'all know I love helping people out. Jake One White Van Music. This is like his Soul Survivor, In Control type producer album. The list of MCs is crazy. Black Milk, Knots, MOP, Freeway, Little Brother, Pasta Noose, MF Doom, Young Buck, Bishop Lamont, Alchemist Evidence and Prodigy, Jay Pender, Casual, Royce the 5'9" and Elzai got a song on here. So
I don't think I've ever heard that.
This is crazy.
I mean, when that come out?
This man came out, y'all know I can't see shit and I refuse to wear glasses. Probably about 10, maybe 15 years ago. This is old. Really? This is old as shit, yeah. But this is a great for people who don't know about Big One. This is a very, very dope. The joint on here with MOP, Gangsta Boy, crazy. And then I don't know if the credits are online, but the thing I loved about is he talks about how each song got made. So like the MOP joint that's on here, that was supposed to be on their G Unit album. You know what I mean? And when it never came out, I guess 50 let him keep the song. And this Gangsta Boy on here, MOP joint is crazy.
Let me say this too real quick. Outside of Jake One, when I think about how dope that Dog Pound album is, I think people still sleep on Daz. You know what I'm saying? Like Daz got legendary songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, but man, he slept on by some people not realizing how great he is, and then just some of the production he did on Dog Pound album this year, it slept on.
I'm glad you said that because the joint on here, We All We Got, that uses the same sugar-free sample that AZ did with Sugar Hill. It's very Dre reminiscent. You're taking this East Coast song, but it just sounds bigger. It sounds bigger. Yeah. It sounds fresh. And Dog Pound sound incredible on top of it. So, yeah. Nah, I feel you. Vague, what's up? MC Producer of the Year, who you got?
Well, I mean, I hate to be boring, but Kendrick Lamar, MC of the Year, man. What that nigga say? My first one, like my last one, a classic. You don't have one. Let your core fan base stomach that, then tell them where you get your abs from. That's just one of the bars. Like, this nigga was cooking this nigga on anything he could find.
Boy.
Then he drop an album we like Undisputed. I don't care what Lil Wayne says. Nobody want to hear that shit from you. And it's right now. You know, get yourself clean, so you can sound clearer on the mic. But it's K-Dot all the way. And when you look at just the battle itself, like when you just reflect on it and just reflect off of this one line on like that I keep going back to, fuck the big three, nigga, it's just the big me. For him to do that shit with the status and even not even just the status of Drake, you could easily just write Kendrick off. I'll get the fuck out of here because this nigga got so many hits. He got so much power, but to do that and kind of bring it back to lyricism is crazy. And to give us different styles with each different record, you got everything. You got Boom Bap, you got Alchemist on the track, you got Mustard on it. That's just incredible to do.
Yeah. It is incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like to just do that with all the different looks. And you know, GNX is just like a celebration of it all. And it won't end until the Super Bowl and the next album. So, he definitely gets it. Slept on MC. Who did I have? I have Graph. Graph put out an album with 38 Special called God's Timing. And I felt like the underground niggas talked about it but kind of moved on. And that shit was fucking flames. Like, he had a video for one of the songs called Rockefeller Chain where he talks about
shit was crazy. That shit was crazy.
I saw that one.
That was
the whole album is crazy. And 38 Special, he rhymes on it, but I think he did either all the beats or most of them. Because he's more a producer on this joint.
You know the crazy thing, bro? I don't even know how you find new music coming out. Because I saw that video and I was like, yo, that's dope as hell. But then I never heard about it again. And it's crazy because I'm on Twitter every day. And Tone knows there's not a day that goes by that somebody is not trying to school us. Like, yo, you don't know about this person. So it's just intriguing to me, like Slum Village had an album out? That album came out? Like, I'm just bugged because it's not like I'm like living in a bubble. Like, oh, I'm not on social media and I don't like, yo, I don't even know how an MC you're supposed to even get your music out there, man.
Well, for me, and I know what it is, Twitter's algorithm is shit. Like, they will make you see, you know, depending on what you follow, but they will make it so you only see certain things. So you probably seeing, you and Tone are probably just seeing all the fuck shit all the time because these are niggas that jump in your mentions and say shit, and then you respond, and the algorithm says, "Oh, well, do more of that." You know, connect them to kill. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So it just needs to be tweaked a little bit so you can see more. But on IG, their algorithm is a little bit better because that's how I learned about it. I saw the video on IG for Graph, and then I saw certain people talking about the album in the comments, and I was like, well, let me check out the album. So, in like with Nas, like most of the time when he was dropping them Hit Boys joints, IG was the place where the bat signal went up. So for me, like half the shit I talk about, I saw a video, a reel of something, and then I was like, oh, let me check out such and such album.
Makes sense.
Producer of the year, Dr. Dre. Nah, you can't give us Missionary and this Casablanca joint, and they sound crazy, and we can hear everything you doing with the production, and no one has matched that. Alchemist has released 1 million joints. He had the Gangrene joint that was hot. It's cool, but Dr. Dre was like, he had me thinking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you hear P-Rock shit, like, yo, let me turn on the machine. Dr. Dre was like inspiring me musically, just as a fan.
Right.
Like, damn, I just want to hear more that sounds like this. Because, it reminded you of why you love music and why you love hip-hop. So Dr. Dre. And I didn't plan this, but I think Hill slept on producer. Between my project, that sounds nothing like Rel's project. That sounds nothing like the Backwoods Sweetie song he did. And everybody else, Hill did all the beats. So when you hear the variety within the production, you can't say, oh yeah, that's Kill beat. He did all of them. You know what I'm saying? From Hoodie Vegas to the joints that he did with Rel, the joint with Backwoods Sweetie and what's his name? From Tajay. So like that beat is crazy. I was kind of mad. I was like, damn, I want to jump on that. Let me get on the remix. But I think in a lot of ways, and y'all see when we put out the interview, because we talk in depth about like Kill's production and what he thinks about how he used to produce versus how he produces now, just all this detail. But again, while I'm working on Best Eye Vintage and I'm seeing what he's doing for Rel, and I'm seeing what he's doing for Backwoods Sweetie and other people, and I'm like, damn, he posting other beats that ain't on shit every fucking day.
Yeah.
It's like, are your producers doing shit like that? Like working that hard and working at a damn teen center also? Like, come on, man. Like, so I think you deserve the props, man,
I
because
appreciate it, bro.
this was a dope year. And the new one we got, oh my. The one I sent you today, Song for You Too.
I haven't even listened yet, bro. I ain't even listen. I'm gonna listen after this.
Wait till you hear it. I think it might be the best song made ever, and that's not even cap.
All right. And I just said, and Ralph just reached out for some beats this week. I just sent him some shit too. So.
Yeah. Just think Hoodie Vegas, but way better. Well, I think, because I wrote the shit, but I think it's way better lyrically. And the beat is crazy. So, but yeah, props to you. I think you slept.
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. Rel, what about you? Who's the MC of the year? Kendrick. Okay.
Kendrick, Dr. Dre. I mean, this is probably the clearest year we've had. I mean, Kendrick,
Right.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
And the West Coast.
West
held it
Coast.
down. And I'm not as big on the Janet. I like it, but you just can't deny what he did. Like he's been like the talk, the face of hip hop the whole year. Like and he dismantled, boy, like no one has ever done. Like you can't. It's just undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Slept on MC. Yo, I'm gonna go with my man Vic Spencer, man. Like, yo, I was listening to some of his stuff on the plane, and then like he put something up. Like it's like the hardest working man in hip hop, bro. I'm like, yo, you putting something else out, like. And
let me explain something to you, bro, about Vic. I was in Chicago with Vic. This nigga has so many songs with your favorite rappers. That I just promise you, whoever is your favorite rapper, that's not a Kendrick Lamar level.
Yeah.
Songs with Ruck, songs with Stove Guy, songs with Westside, songs with like just anybody who we've named, he's got songs with that just will like that he just stacked out with songs, man. Like it's crazy to me with Vic, man.
Yeah, so yeah, and he got something new coming out. Midnight.
Being a bigger person sucks. Being a bigger person.
Yeah.
Sucks.
So yeah, definitely slept on.
That's the name of it.
And
being a bigger
I like that
person.
name.
I
like that.
And slept on producer. I gotta go with Kill, man, and just what he did for me personally, like, you know what I'm saying, like when I first started, making music again, I said, yo, like, just let me know how much, you know what I mean, I need some beats, whatever. This man was like, nah, like, I'm investing in you, like, I'm gonna send you, you know what I'm saying, and then we can deal with like what we make off of it. But I'm and he ain't had to do that, you know what I'm saying, like, and he gave me, like, rejuvenated me, you know what I'm saying, to make music. And this last album, like, I had a vision. Me, him, and JR sat down and we came up with, and I was telling him, like, these beats, like I was able to let Joe Claire hear the album, because he does his shows at my building that I work at, and he's just going crazy. He's a hip hop head. He was going crazy, like, yo, yeah. He was like, yo, and he was telling everybody, telling the comedians, told the crowd, like, yo, this dude, well, I didn't even know he was, making music. And
You're solid cat.
Yeah, he was like, whoever your producer is. So, and I told him about it. So we gonna link. We're gonna link after the holidays. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, to the stuff they did with Vegas, and then back with Sweetie, and then just being like a real person. You know what I'm saying? Like, people like that deserve more accolades. You know what I'm saying? Like, we give accolades to people we don't even know. But just somebody like I can call like if I need something. You feel what I'm saying? That type of person needs to get the accolades, just like these people that we big up that we don't even know. So yeah,
I appreciate the love, y'all. I appreciate the love. 2 dope albums, y'all. Tap in. I'm telling y'all will not be disappointed, man. It's impossible to be disappointed. Tell me this, y'all. How many mics do y'all give 2024? I gotta go with a solid 4 mics. I'm giving it a solid 4. I looked at all the albums that came out. I kind of tried to rate them. Y'all know me. The educator in me is like doing math. Like, okay, I'm averaging. I'm giving this year a solid 4. I'm giving this year a solid 4 mics, which is good. I know there's somebody out there that's like, it's either classic or trash, and solid 4 mics. I tell people, Tone, Vague, Rel, people don't understand. Getting 4 mics in the Source in 1993, you were happy with it. You had no beef. You were not going up to the Source office trying to kill nobody, nothing like that. You were happy with your 4 mics. Only now in 2024 is 4 mics whack. Like you're offended if somebody gives you 4 mics. This was a very good year. It was a lot of quantity. The quantity is crazy, but the quality for me didn't match the quantity. So if 200 albums dropped, maybe 10 of them were like 4.5 or better or things like that. So I'm giving it 4 mics. Tone, what about you? How many mics you giving 2020?
I literally wrote right here earlier today, 4 mics. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a dope year, solid all the way through from the early part of the year throughout the summer. And not just the albums, because again, you gotta look at, and I said this on one of my shows recently, the Drake and Kendrick battle, because of social media, is the biggest battle in hip-hop history. I'm not saying the best. I'm saying when they put a song up and you click it, the whole world hear it in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? That one weekend when you think about the 616 thing, and then Family Matters come out.
Every day you woke up. Like, I would wake up and I look at my phone like, oh, another one came out. Like, niggas was dropping diss tracks within hours of each other.
Family Matters come out, next thing you know, everybody riding high to that joint, and then this nigga dropped Meet the Grams. You're like, where this come from? It's sinister. And then the Victory Lap would not like us. And then even after that, some people don't like the Heart 6. Drake still came out with the Heart 6. I mean, just a lot of songs. It was right in our face. It was the biggest public battle in hip-hop history because of the time we're living in or whatever. And then you still got, for the South, Future was on fire. You know what I'm saying? He was on fire. The West Coast dominates. You know what I'm saying? So it's a pretty monumental year overall, man. 4 mics easy. Maybe 4.5 mics because of that battle.
Right. Vague, what about you? How many mics you giving this year?
4.5 for me, man. Like, for a lot of the reasons y'all both just said. I mean, that battle was exciting. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was like hip hop was back. Yeah. Everybody was paying attention. Everybody was breaking down little shit like in every bar, and it was kind of like we do that all the time, but now everybody's doing that.
Yeah,
right. Then we hear a jazz brass band playing Not Like Us, little kids at bar mitzvahs and dance parties. It was just exciting to see so many people into music in that way. Probably not for Drake, but hey, man, welcome to America.
Right.
Welcome to the cookout, nigga.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, like, I know I listen to a lot of music, and on my show I do a best of the year. You might want to watch the video because I dress up now for last year with the hoodie with the do-rag with the Santa hat on it, but this year watch.
Okay.
Watch where you see it. But I do a top 5, but I do 10 albums that I think people should also check out. And some of them were named here, but there was a lot more. And then there was some I had to push off just to stick to the formula. So I just felt like Shay Noir. Like, I felt like Shay Noir put out a dope ass EP.
Yeah.
The album was dope. And it's kind of slept on now. So it's just so much that came out that was dope, that wasn't even West Coast, let alone what the West Coast did. And I like the fact that you got Common and P Rock, you got LL and Q-Tip, you got Snoop and Dre, and they release music in a big way. And I just feel like coming off of 50 years of hip hop celebrating it, this was a dope way to have like a big battle, old school artists dropping that sound hot. You know what I'm saying? Young cats like Kendrick, like, yeah, old school and new school together. It was just perfect. So I wanted to say 5, but think about years out of 5, and then I got to start thinking about R&B and shit. And 88 is fucking untouchable to me when it comes to that.
Right. Nah, good points, man. You got me teetering on 4.5 just because I'm just looking at the music, but like from Tone talking about the battle, and then you talking about just the old school people coming back. I mean, I gotta bump it up to a 4.5 now.
Oh, real quick, let me say all this. Well, just came on my feed. So Redman Muddy Water come out on Christmas Eve. The whole
he pushed it up.
Yeah, the whole promo and everything is on Twitter right now.
Okay, all right.
So
I hope it's better than 2 singles we got, because that's not Muddy Waters too. But yeah. But I'm gonna have to bump it up to 4.5. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why I love this show. My pastor always tells me, keep smart people around you. Never be the smartest person in the room. This is why I love doing the show with y'all, because those are 2 points that I wasn't thinking about. I was just looking at the music, not thinking about, like you said, we got LL, we got Snoop, we got the old heads coming back. We going back to this one producer, one MC thing. So yeah, I gotta nudge it up now to 4.5. Yeah. Bro, what about you, bro?
Yeah, I got a 4. Speaking of the battle, like, it just reminded me, like on a bigger scale. I remember when like Beans and Kiss was beefing, and I was in Philly at the time, like, and I just remember like waking up and my man's across the street's like, yo, I got to do this, and it felt like similar because every day it was like a new disc was coming out from them two. And like, you know, Kendrick washed him, but it wasn't like all the stuff that Drake was doing was whack. Like, he was putting out
not at all.
It was a good back and forth. It was a good tennis match. It was like, okay.
And he just took the L, you know what I'm saying? But it was good, man. And you know, it had a lot of eyes on hip hop. And then the big thing for me was the artists, like the LLs, the Common and P Rock, the Snoop, and who else? I'm missing somebody. Cube, just all the, you know, those artists. Dog Pound,
Dog Pound. Yeah,
these are artists, like, you know what I'm saying, we grew up on, and you know, it fought against that ageism in hip hop that you know, people do, where they saying, you know, people too old to make music and stuff like that. It's spat in the face of that with and especially with the quality that those artists put out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was big for me. You know what I'm saying? That was like refreshing and rejuvenating for me. Like, that all those artists came out and put out, you know, quality music. Like, all of those releases were quality. You know what I'm saying? So that's what did it for me. That's what made it a 4. You know what I mean?
Dope. So celebrating the years, we gotta also salute the people who we lost this year. We lost Boss, you know what I mean? DJ Clark Kent.
Yeah.
We lost DJ Mr. C. We lost Fat Man Scoop.
Man.
We lost TJ Swan. We lost Rico Wade. Yeah. We lost Brother Marquise from the 2 Live crew. We lost Polo from G-Rap. We lost Chino XL. We lost Saphir. We lost Kyle. You know what I mean? So definitely, you know, a sad year, you know, because for me it was like, damn, the DJs just keep dying. It was like, damn, Mr. C, Clark Kent, Fat Man Scoop, Polo, you know.
Yeah, tough.
Then Chino XL, we finding out it was suicide, you know. Yeah. So a rough year, not to, you know, put it out. Vague lost his mom this year. Rel just lost his brother-in-law. So just a sad year. So just praying for, you know, their souls and for their families and everything like that. What would you say is outside of the battle this year? What would you say is the number one thing that you'll remember about this year? For me, it was J. Cole ducking that fucking battle. So
Oh man,
that was it. I was like, that nigga is on punishment until April 4th, 2025. I don't want to hear shit. The way fucking Malcolm got silenced for the chickens coming home to roost, J. Cole is silenced for me for 1 calendar year from stepping away. I've heard everything. He was gonna get personal. I get it. That nigga still gotta be silenced for me. So that was the thing that I will remember from this year, because I've never seen somebody duck a rap battle. Tone, what about you? What is something that you will remember this year for, outside, of course, the Kendrick Drake beef?
man, come back to it. Let me think on that, man.
All right,
You got me laughing now about the J. Cole thing, man.
Vay, what you got for this year? What will you remember about this year?
Oh man,
I like Drake. I got a lot of Drake music, you know what I'm saying? But I need him to chill. I've never seen somebody so unwilling to just say, I lost, but I'm gonna go over here and do my thing. He just can't stop from taking the pictures with his fucking lips tooted out and shit, to being in a mall after they just called you a pedophile and doing a video with grown men with OVO shirts on. Like, stop. Just fall back. We like you. Well, I like him with the melodies, to be honest.
Right.
I like him rapping, but I like the singing shit. Even that house joint he did. But I've never seen somebody like just can't let go. And it's like he's stepping on every bear trap in the fucking vicinity just because, and he can't let it go. But at the top of that is a nigga suing over losing a battle. I've never seen that in my life.
Right.
I'll never forget that.
That's it right there, man. Like, yo.
Now I know he's not suing. It's kind of like, you may have done something, and that's what this is. But why would you even want that out, man, as a competitor? Like, I don't know, but I won't forget that, because I won't hold it against him, because as soon as he come out with a two-step, I'm gonna be with the shit. But just do that, man. Relax.
You know, the funny thing this reminds me of, I was in 8th grade, and two of my boys, one of my people was talking shit to my man. I'm gonna fuck you up after school, I'm gonna fuck you up. Niggas rumbled, my man got his ass whooped. The next day he came to school, act like ain't shit happened. Like, it was like, we just gotta act like that shit did not happen. Like, nigga walked up to the guy like, oh, you got me yesterday, nigga. It's like, and niggas just act like the shit didn't happen. It's like, Drake, it's almost like Jay said, like, I don't know why your advisors didn't forewarn. Like, who is around you? Like, nobody, nigga, just stop. Like, we live in the internet, nigga. Someone will get, something crazy will happen, and niggas will forget all about this. But it's almost like you won't let us forget about this. Like, that's the problem. Like, it ain't nobody else, nigga. It's you. So this nigga needs some better advisors, because whoever said, yo, we should sue the street, well, whoever he's suing, just period. Like, this is like MC Shan trying to sue KRS after, or they said it in the NWA movie when Jerry Heller's like, no, I'm calling my lawyer, and Easy's like, nigga, that's not the fuck how this works. It's like Avon told Stringer, nigga, it ain't that part of the game, nigga. This ain't that. Like, leave it alone. But it's like, again, I don't know why he advises them forewarn you. Well, what about you? What's something that you will remember from this year, man?
West Coast dominance dominated the year. You know what I'm saying? West Coast dominated the year. You know what I mean? Like that song, They Not Like Us. Like, it's cool to me. It's like, I don't really like it like that, but it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But the West Coast really, you know what I'm saying? They really put their stamp down on the year 2024. You know what I'm saying? And the support was crazy for everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they all came together, and it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I remember about this year, is the West Coast kind of dominating this year. Remind me of, like, what year was it back in the day when the West Coast just kind of took over? Like, when 91, something like that. When
I think once the Chronic came out, because it was almost like big, and everybody from '94 was like, "All right, now we gotta take the East Coast back," because the Chronic was out, and that shit was just everywhere.
And then the Chronic, then Doggy Style, then Murder with the Cage, then a Border Ram sound. They had a massive run before, you know, Big, I guess 95 Biggie.
Big and them took it back, yeah.
All right, Tone, what about you, bro? What you got?
So two things really made me think about again. Like, I remember that the West Coast did carry the load for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And also for me, on the side note, what I remember, and we'll see if it comes to fruition, is Nas finally announcing the Primo album. You know, and I think the one song, which is a promo song, I don't think it's gonna be on the album, but the fact that he literally got on stage and pronounced it, but before that released the song, we do know it's coming. It's gonna come for sure. Is he gonna sneak up and come before the end of this year? I don't know, but we know this time next year we'll have a Nas Primo album that was announced in 2024. Me and my favorite MC, my GOAT MC, I'm excited about that to see what happens.
All right, let me ask y'all this, because I totally lost my train of thought. Boy, I tell you, 50 is not kind. It's not kind at all. If you don't write it down, I'll remember what it was eventually. Vague, where can they get at you, good brother? What's going on for the rest of the year?
All right. Well, first of all, you can follow me on social media on any platform. Same name, at Vegas World INC. Coming up, three things. So my best of 2024 should be out now in video form and audio form. Again, I do a top five, same top five here, but I probably speak a little bit more to each project. And I do like 10 good albums. Shout out to I Am God, who's in there, on YouTube and Apple Music and all that good stuff, or Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But coming up this week, since this is releasing on Monday, tomorrow, Christmas Eve, the video will drop of me and Kill talking about our 6 projects, how we came together, when we first worked together, even before the making albums, saying the albums we made, we break down. Ak does an excellent job of asking us questions about the beats and the rhymes and our favorite songs and stories behind some of those songs. And on Christmas Day, all of our projects will be on all digital streaming platforms. So if you didn't get over to Bandcamp, that's cool. If you just really don't know how to work your phone, but you bought the shit anyway, but you got Apple Music, you can go ahead and download it and check it out there. Spotify, you get a new toy for Christmas, a new car, sound system, headphones, whatever. This is something you can go through and listen and hear the changes in the beats over time, and especially my voice over time, because you listen to that first project and I was even listening like, what the fuck? Like, I've always had a deep voice, but I sound mad young on that album. And I was like 09 when we was recording some of that.
That's 09. And I think another dope thing about the thing with Ak is, me and Veg find out different things. Like, I don't know how he writes his rhymes and some of the joints. One of the joints on the new album, Can't Forget, that was a beat I had made. My sister had called me with a voicemail from my mother-in-law, you know what I mean, before she had passed. And I had put that voicemail to that beat. So he didn't even know that Can't Forget beat was originally for that. So it's just a dope thing. And like I said, 6 albums, high quality hip hop. Like, again, if we was Pete and CL or Sky Zoo and somebody else, the names would be ringing out. So definitely tap into that. Bro, what's going on, man? Tell me something good about where can they get at you, bro?
Yeah, Uptown Rail 215 on the gram, JBen215 on Twitter. Bandcamp is Jarrell215.bandcamp.com. Getting the albums out, and it's so crazy. Like, it's been out for a minute, and then I guess a couple people just really got around to it and just hit me up, telling me what songs they like. Joe Claire hit me up telling me different songs he likes. So, man, go check it out, man. I promise you, promise you, it's dope, man. Kill produced the whole joint, and I had an idea, and it came out like perfect to what I wanted it to be. You know what I'm saying? It's called "It's Not You, It's Me." Vegas is on there. It's fire. And another thing, if one of y'all rappers don't buy that Inhale beat Kill just made, y'all slipping, bro. Y'all slipping, man. I hit you up while I say, yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, y'all better, yeah.
I tell niggas if Alchemist post that beat, niggas be jumping out the fucking window.
Yeah,
so
you right,
find the fucking window and jump the fuck out it. So I feel you. Tone, where can they get at you, good brother?
Yeah, Twitter and IG, Tony the Dome, as you see on the screen. YouTube, the Dome Podcast. Real quick, shout out to Crooked Al, who came on, had a great conversation about the West Coast. Shout out to Mickey Fax, who came on, had a dope conversation, man. And he's doing some dope things in the culture too, man. So shout out to them brothers. I don't know. And shout out to Chuck D also for showing me a lot of love the other week, man. So that was real dope, man. Hopefully one more guest before the end of the year, man. We'll see what goes, man. Having a good time talking about this culture we all love, man. And also, me and Vay got to get that time in hip hop back soon. Some episodes we always lock in, so we'll be doing that too.
All right, that's what's up. Me Kill 889 Twitter, IG. Y'all know me. I always gotta have a dope hip hop collectible piece here. We got the new Outcast piece right here from my man Scartosio. Wow. Joint is crazy. You can see the detail on this joint. Got ATLian sign right there. You come back around here with the Cadillac, with the big boy and the Andre 3000. Just so crazy joints. You got.
Well, you know what I think about Outcast, so I love that.
Yeah. I just seen your joint, Tone. I just seen your joint. So yeah, definitely very dope joint right there. Yeah. But the joint that I had, the question that I had for y'all was, Trey hit me when the G and X joint came out, the Kendrick joint, and he was like, him and Guru was talking, and it's like, you know how some people were saying like, yo, it's a West Coast album, it's for the West Coast, and Trey was like, so what's the East Coast album? What is our sound? So like how East Coast niggas was like, nah, that ain't for us, that's for them. Does the East Coast even have a sound anymore for somebody from Compton to be like, that's cool, but that ain't for us, that's for them East Coast niggas? And we kind of told him like, yo, is it the drumless hip hop? Like, is that like, and it's like, do we even have an East Coast sound anymore?
I think it's the same sound as always been. Like Common and Pete Rock is probably the clearest example of East Coast sound. But like you said, that drumless hip hop could be looked at that as well. But yeah, I think the West Coast thing is a little bit more refined because it's not even just the production. It's the way they say words now, and the flows and shit like that. So it's something new. You know what I'm saying? And on the East Coast, I don't feel like Common and Pete, even though Common's from the Midwest, I don't feel like that sound is new. It just sounds fresh. You know what I'm saying? But it's familiar. So I don't know.
I don't know.
It's crazy, because even when we did the dance show and you were talking about the dancing and Not Like Us, and you see the dancing and Squabble Up, and I saw like the TDE Christmas show they did, and everybody's dancing. It's like we don't even got no East Coast dances. Like it is the East Coast. Like it's not only like you said the West Coast beats. It's the West Coast rhymes. It's the West Coast. You see a culture. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like, what is our East Coast culture? Is it just standing in front of a bodega? It's like what is the East Coast culture? And it just had me thinking, it was like, damn, like, are we that far fucking gone that we don't have shit? You know what I mean? Like I would love to be able to be like, oh, I would love to hear a dude from Compton be like, oh, that's an East Coast beat, and that's an East Coast rhyme pattern, and that's some East Coast shit that they doing over there. Like, I still don't know how to fucking crip walk, and that shit been around for fucking 50 years. You know what I mean? Like, but we don't have none of that shit over here. So it just made me think we was all kind of stumped, like, damn, like, shit.
Yeah, what would it be? Boom bap. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Would it be Benny the Butcher and all these guys that sound? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the closest thing I could think of was that. Yeah.
And here's the bad part. I fucking hate that sound, man. Where the fuck are the drums, man? Stop doing this shit.
Yeah, I need drums, bro.
Stop doing this shit, man. And I feel like it's all about that vibe. Niggas just want to vibe. Like I was talking to some young boy, like, what's this lo-fi shit? And it's like, oh, dude, you can just put on the music and just vibe to it. You don't even need no rhymes. I'm like, yo, that's cool for vibing, but nigga, I want some boom bap, man. And like I said, I don't mind Rock Marcy. That was his style. Like I don't mind Steph taking the crazy shots. In fact, that shit was exciting to me to see Steph pulling up half court, hitting threes. It's not exciting to see fucking 98% of the league doing the same shit. Then it's almost like that's what it is with hip hop. Like, yo, Rock Marcy could have that shit. I like when Rock Marcy does it, but it's the fact that 50 million other people are doing it too that just waters it down. And I don't know. I can't call it. But Kill889 Twitter, IG. I will check y'all next week, y'all.
Peace.